Hi everyone, happy Thursday and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Joyce and again I am covering for Lauren who will be back with us tomorrow night. So please make a note of that. And last night we had a lot of fun. A lot of private collection came out to play. A lot of you guys definitely did enjoy that. But we are going to continue the party with still 10% off of everything that you see here today. No final sales attached to that. So it doesn't matter if anything is like, you know, $9.99 to $9,999, right? It doesn't matter. We're going to take 10% off of everything that you see here today, which also does mean that we are looking for your requests. So if you have something that you've been thinking about that is, you know, really at the top of that wish list there that you want to treat yourself with, now is the time to call in with your requests and to grab them here today. And of course, if there's anything that maybe you weren't here with us yesterday that you maybe want to take another quick look at, let's say, you know, my GI certified green diamond. So if you want to take another look at that, I actually have that one right in front of me. So we are going to show that again and recap it until it goes because there was a lot of interest on it. So again, any requests you might have, it doesn't have to be a specific item. If you have something in general that you're looking for, please call us and let us know. And without further ado, let's get right into it because I got a lot to get to today. So let's take a look at what happens to be our very first item of today, which is going to be this blue zircon. Now, we've had a couple of blue zircons here and there. This one is going to be 1126641. And we've had, actually, I don't know if anyone knows this, but we've had a couple of blue zircons that came out of the private collection to play. And although this may not be one of those blue zircons, it sure does look like it, doesn't it, right? I mean, I even have a larger one later today that is from the private collection. And truth be told, between the two of them, I'm like, I can't really decide which one I like more because from this one, you know, just when I'm wandering around in the vaults, like in the zircon box, which by the way is full of all of our zircons, right? All of the blues, the pinks, the greens, the goldens, the whites, right? All of the zircons are in one, you know, area. And from within that little box right there, like this one stood out to me, right? Of all of the larger stones, this is actually one of the smaller blue zircons that we currently have in our inventory. And yet this is the one that, you know, in the dimly lit light, you know, I saw it, it popped out and I thought, you know what? I have to bring it out. And here it is. This is our 489 oval blue zircon center stone. It does have to stay in the white gold, so just keep that in mind, but we will size this one for you. You know, it is true to size. We do quarter and half sizes too, but it does have to stay like it is in that white gold. But this is our $6,999 ring. It is our lovely blue zircon, definitely not a small size, right? These stones tend to be a little bit on the larger side. And here we have one that is, you know, a pretty decent size, pretty visible from miles away. And, you know, is just sitting here on the wheel, but we're all looking at it. And it just, part of it, the way it sparkles just makes me think of paraiba, right? It is bright, it is intense. And it's not a washed out stone, so you know, if you're ready for some attention on your hands, like this ring has got it all. And instead of even $29.99, we are going to be bringing this way down low. Really just want to move it out of here. And of course, the design on this band is something that, you know, it's very simple, right? It's a single halo design, but I've always loved it, right? I've always loved a very subtle design where you have one part of your split shank covering your single diamond halo there to really give it this truly dimensional effect, even though it is, you know, not exactly like the rose rings that we had yesterday, right? Where, you know, in nature it does have layering, but here's where, you know, the designer really went ahead and had some fun here. And it's not even going to be $19.99. I mean, I would love to just take this ring and show you guys what it looks like from the side there. So even that single diamond halo has got its own little like wave there where it's not completely flat, right? Again, very simple design, very everyday wearable, and white gold only on this one. I mean, look at that, right? It's a very slight attention to detail, and look at how well the result pays off here. And I'm also going to try it on the hand here because we are all waiting to see what the size of the stone can do when it's on the hand, and look at that. Do you see what I mean? Right? We just took it from under 3 light sources into somewhere that has maybe like 1.5. and look at what that stone is doing. Again, there's no special filters here. Again, I am moving my hand. That stone is moving with me, and just look at how the light just dances around inside of the stone. It's not even $19.99. Look at it from the side as well, where the stone is still trying to look its best here. And if you would like this one right here right now, we're gonna make it $1,499 on this one-of-a-kind, beautiful blue zircon stone. I mean, right? And white gold only on this one, of course, but we will size it for you. We also do quarter and half sizes. And $14.99 minus your 10% off. Again, a $4.89 is not a small stone. I think this is that perfect medium size. If you've been, dreaming about a blue zircon and you've seen the larger stones that we have and can do, and you're like, that's not really for me, I think you should try this one, right? Some of the smaller stones that I've seen here and there, they do tend to lose that, intensity of body color once it gets to a smaller stone, but this one does not have that problem. $14.99, we may be verifying on it right now. So let's bring it back up close and see who is going to grab it here today. I mean, it's just it looks better on the hand than on a wheel, which is a perfect thing, because when you get this in person, you're not gonna put it on a wheel and watch it spin, right? It's gonna be on your hand. So $14.99 on this one. Good luck. Let me know who is going to take it here. And I cannot do another. I only have this one. Once it goes, it goes. So let me know here. And next up, going into the deep end already. So let me know on this one. Let me know if you have any requests. And here we have another stone that is also of a blue variety. This is 1120345. And this is in fact going to be that cat's eye indicolite. And in that astounding mounting, right? A mounting that we don't really see much of anymore. And that is because this mounting simply costs too much to make in today's day and age of gold prices. And of course, all of the diamond designs in it too. It's kind of a floral design, right? I feel like we need to have at least one floral ring a day here. This is also in the white gold only. This is our 702 cat's eye indicolite. Now, what I love about these stones is that when you have faceted gemstones, faceted indicolites, it's usually like, there's some stones here and there that people really just want to sell to you, so they'll call it an indicolite, but there's too much green in it to really call it a true, blue indicolite color. But for all of these cat's eye indicolite stones that I have seen so far, they are all that stunning, like electrifying blue color, especially when you have that cat's eye phenomena dancing within it. And another thing that I love about this particular stone is that you can see into it. It's kind of hard to see right now since you have so many lights blasted into it, but this stone is actually a stone that you can see into. You can actually see the depth that it offers for you. And on top of that, this is our ring that honestly, I don't know what happened with the pricing here. I think something something went amiss, because this was our $13,999 ring. When you have a regular indicolite, maybe a regular indicolite that is a 7 carat, like that's already like a large stone, right? That's already, the price tag is gonna be high, right? Especially if it is this color. But now that you have an added phenomena to it, suddenly it's like, maybe double that price, right? But no, this is TVON. We want you to have the best of the best. This is something that we actually only brought to you guys very recently. I want to say maybe it was like last year, maybe 2 years ago, right? So this stone has not been here for that long at all. And the first time I saw it, my first thought was, they can do that, right? Like, I never thought that cat's eye indicolites were possible, and I never even thought that they would look like this, right? Because let's face it, there are some, cat's eye stones out there that don't look the best. So this is one of those stones that absolutely does. We of course had to dress it up with a carat 13 of diamonds here. White gold only on this one, and of course, let me try it on, because truly for the size of this ring, for the size of that center stone too, like the band just completely disappears. And look at that. I feel like everything today just looks better on the hand, does it not? Right? Look at that cat's eye. It is sharp, right? The last thing you want is for your cat's eye to be, blurry, for your cat's eye to look like it's, nearsighted, right? But that is a sharp cat's eye, no matter how you look at it from whichever angle. And the best part is, this might be a little spooky, but it's not even going to be $7,999. Yes, I know. For a ring of this size, for a center stone of this size, simply put, I have cat's eye indicolites in the back that are smaller than this is for about that price you see right now. So the fact that we're going way down low, that's what I mean by I think something went wrong here, something went awry, and the price simply does not reflect the quality and the workmanship of this ring. And this one is also true to size. Now, it is not heavy at all, it's not top heavy, in part because of the surface area that the ring does cover, so that the weight is pretty much evenly balanced throughout your finger here, so it's not going to turn or twist, because when you have those, let's say, larger center stones where it's only like anchored on either side by a single stone on either side, right, that tends to, you know, lose a little balance here, right? But this one does not have that problem. The weight is evenly distributed across your finger here. And this is what it looks like from the side as well. So you do have a basket for your ring. And of course, your center stone is going to be that cabochon cut. So it is going to be flat on the back, but in the front, it's going to have that kind of like a teardrop, right? A dewdrop, a drop of water curved forward. And this is what we are going to do on our one and only cat's eye indicolite tourmaline. I am so excited that this is here. And not only that, but I am so excited that this mounting is here, because this is the last time we are going to see this specific mounting. Again, it's just too much gold and too much diamond and just too much to recreate, especially for, you know, this price that we are going to do. So let's bring it back up close here, take another look at it. And I will, of course, give you the full tour of this ring right here. There is your basket, and that's what it looks like from the back. So even from the back, you can see your cat's eye phenomena taking place here. I love how even from the back, it reflects how sharp and clean that cat's eye is. Traditional band on this one. And if you would like this, call me right now. I don't have anything else that is priced like this. We are going to make this $3,999, one color only. Yes, $39.99 minus your 10% off at checkout. It just has to stay like it is in the white gold here, but we will size it for you to whatever size you need, quarter and half sizes, of course. And $39.99 for a ring of this size is just unbelievable. But here we are, here we go. I mean, this item, you know, it's been here for a while, but not that long. But the fact that we're still able to do prices that would reflect what they were like, you know, 5 years ago is pretty insane, especially when you consider a stone of this level of rarity and, you know, top quality. And $39.99 minus your 10% off will be yours at checkout here. And next up is a stone that we've also been recently bringing to you guys. And I never thought in my entire life would I ever say this, but Moonstone is now on my wish list. I can't believe it, because every time I've seen Moonstone, it's like, oh yeah, that's, you know, it's nice, but I don't really care for it. But now it's like the good stuff has come out. So here it is. This is that Moonstone that we all know and love. This is 1129662. And we only saw this mounting just yesterday in a beautiful Mandarin garnet, but it is here again today with a Moonstone, and this is our carat 82 Moonstone. I mean, I wish I saw this sooner, right? If I saw this sooner, you bet I would have had at least a couple hundred Moonstones in my collection, but it is here for one of you guys. And honestly, a lot of the Moonstone that have gone out the door are mostly in the white gold. So that is, you know, the most popular gold color for this stone. But I'm kind of loving how there is yellow gold in this ring, but it's just very subtly, right? It's not too much, it's not too overwhelming. Like if the petals were in yellow gold, then I'd be like, nah. But since there's only a little bit of that yellow gold, it kind of ties together the motif of your center stone, right? Where you have your Moonstone, which is essentially a colorless stone, but leaning towards the cool side, right? With your blues, your paraiba blues. And then at certain angles, you have this warm orange sheen that just comes across it. And I think the ring itself, being that two-tone gold look, providing that contrast, really just ties it all together when you have your Moonstone in here. It's a beautiful stone. I only have this one. I wish I had a million of them. And you know, it's my wish, but I wish one day maybe we could make like a tennis bracelet or even a tennis necklace out of Moonstones, right? Wouldn't that be beautiful? I think that would like beat diamonds out, right? Like everyone has diamonds, but not everyone has Moonstones that look like this. So one can only dream and wish. But here we go, carat 82 center stone on this one, 21 points total weight of your yellow diamonds. and that is around your center stone. And last but not least, we do have 58 points total weight of your white diamonds, completing this floral look. And yet again, this mounting, we cannot recreate it, right? You saw it yesterday, you'll see it again today, and in fact, let me try it on, but this is not a small ring, right? This is not a itty bitty little baby ring. This is a ring that pretty much just covers the entire width of, you know, my finger. And look at that, even the moonstone from this distance away, it's still bright, right? It doesn't look foggy, which is a nice thing, because colorless stones or lighter color stones, I feel like they're more prone to looking like someone breathed on it and it just never cleared up, right? But this, it's crisp, it's sharp, the colors come through so well, right? It doesn't look like a muddied mess. And even better is that this is no longer going to be $49.99. I would love for someone to have this. Again, true to size on this one. It is a larger ring, yes, but it's not going to roll, turn, or flip, right? With your smaller center stone, you're mounting that covers a lot of surface area on your hand. It's not going to, you know, do a crazy backflip on your hand, right? It's going to stay put, just get it in whatever size you wear. And I mean, look at that, right? Even between the diamonds dazzling and your moonstone glowing, right? This is a perfect ring. If you would like to grab a moonstone for yourself, if you are also like me and if you've never expected moonstone to look this good, here is your chance to grab it before they go, because they have been going, they have not been coming back, and we can only hope that there's enough stones for everyone. But you know, private collection, maybe, maybe not, it's hard to tell. And this is what we're gonna do on this one, not even $29.99 on our one and only moonstone here today. Let's bring it back up close here. We'd love for everyone to see what it's all about up close and personal here. And there it is, right? From all of the different angles, as you are wearing it on your hand, you're not going to look at it like this, right? This is, we're just looking at it straight on, but as you have it on your hand, you are very likely going to be looking at it from all of these different angles. And from here, the greens come out. The greens are not here from this angle, but they are suddenly here from this angle. So again, it's like a fun alternative to opals, which, you know, are my favorite stone. But right, you have all of the different angles, very similar to those, where it also may depend on the intensity of the light source that you're under for these colorful flashes to show up. But look at that, right? As you have it on your hand while you're driving, try not to be too distracted, as you're typing on the computer, right? As you're, you know, running to the mailbox, right? This is going to be on your hand. It is going to look so different from all of the different angles here. So if you would like it, we're gonna make it simple and easy, $19.99 minus your 10% off at checkout. One caller gets it here, and let me know if you would like to grab it. And quite honestly, if you were to call in and request anything else in the moonstone, I can't say for certain we have anything else left. So take that for what you will, but here we go, $19.99 on our one and only moonstone. I wonder what the largest moonstone we have is. Like the largest in the collection, because wouldn't that be a fun stone to bring out and to set, and, you know, depending on the size of it, maybe even a pendant, right? That would be such an interesting idea here. But $19.99 on this one, let me know. Of course, if you have any requests, let me know as well. If there's something you're thinking about, you want to see one more time, again, if you request something and we show it, you don't have an obligation to buy it. If you just want to take a look at it one more time here, we can bring it out and show it to you as long as it is still here. And next up, we are going to go back to the tourmalines, and we are going to go to the land of paraibas. Something that looks like this, 1124676. This is paraiba. A beautiful pear shape, and it's not a small center stone at all. This is going to be our carat 47 pear shape out of the private collection. Does have a little green tint to it, so I wouldn't say it's, you know, a perfectly blue stone, but it definitely has a little bit of that green to it. But it is out of the private collection. It is bright, it is neon, it is included, yes, but still so full of fire and life this stone is. And 42 points of your diamonds as well. You have your rounds, you know, surrounding the outsides, where you have your, and then you have your tapered baguettes on the inside between your, kind of like the rounds kind of serve as like a ring guard around your center stone here. So if you've ever, oops, there it goes, it did a flip. If you ever like want to have a ring and then have ring guards, it's dancing today, it's happy. if you ever have a ring and you're like, oh, I want to put ring guards around it, but you know, you don't have enough space on your hand, or you just, you know, are not one for that, you just want a single ring, right? This kind of does the job for you, where the tapered baguettes kind of serve as like its own little band. And then you do have like a wonder ring kind of shape on one side and then a nice little curved one on the other, because pear shapes, you know, from point to curve, not exactly symmetrical, right? It's not like a marquise where that is symmetrical and you can easily stack wonder rings around it or stack ring guards around it, right? Pear shapes a little bit more tricky to work with. So that is why this is here. It's got that built-in ring guard sort of look for you. Starting price on this one, a little bit scary, $23,999. That's right. For a 147, yep. That's where prices have gone on paraibas. And as we have seen in the last 2 years here, this is our new reality, right? Before we could see a 5-carat stone go out for that price, but here now it's like a 1 and a almost half-carat start at that price. It's crazy, but this is TVON. We are here to help you. We are going against the currents that everyone is going with, right? Everyone, if they have a paraiba, they're like, oh yeah, let's mark up the price, right? Everyone's doing it, right? We get to earn more money, but nope. We are here. We are going to bring this stone all the way down. It's not even going to be $99.99. Yes. Thank you very much. Looks like our Moonstone is going to be gone here. I love that stone, and I hope you will too. And this is not even going to be $99.99, because for a carat 47 pear-shaped that looks like this, I think it deserves a special price, because if you know me, my philosophy is that once you have these sale events that are like 10% off, that is when you really have to bring out the big boys, because you get so much more saved on pieces like this than on pieces like, you know, $9.99, right? Or, you know, little baby huggy hoops, right? You save so much more on pieces like these. So that is why I think that now is a perfect time to just jump at the opportunity and score truly a deal of a lifetime, because nowhere else is willing to put paraiba on sale for 10% off, right? 10% off is not $50 off of this ring, right? It is a lot more than that. And before that though, let me give you another extra special discount on this one. If you would like it, white gold only, it's true to size on this one. We are going to make it $7,888 minus your 10% off. Let me know if you would like to take it here, and I will of course try it on the hand as well, so you can see the size of this stone on your hand. I mean, that is bright, that is neon, and that, I just love how well the tapered baguettes show up as a contrast versus the white diamonds, right, the rounds. I just love how it's not just one big old mess of, you know, diamonds scattered everywhere, right, covering the entire ring. I love how there is a contrast and how bright, how much light the tapered baguettes really bring to this ring as well. And look at that, right? It really gives it that stacked sort of look without you actually having to stack it here. And it's only $78.88 minus your 10% off on this one here. And that's what it looks like from the side as well. So not high off the hand at all. It is a beautiful ring. If you get it, I guarantee you will love it. There are paraibas in the back that I do not love, that I will not bring out. This is not one of them, right? This one, you know, the first 30 minutes, there's 30 out here, right? That says a lot about this stone. So let me know if you would like to take it here, $78.88. We're gonna bring it up close. And I'm actually gonna put it down like this, so you can see another angle into your stone. And in fact, let me also zoom in here so you can see into your stone and see how lovely it is, because it is included. It's very rare do we find a paraiba that does not have any inclusions. And in fact, if there is a paraiba out there that does not have any inclusions, I would kind of raise an eyebrow at it and really just, you know, question where they got it from, because as you know, there's a lot of lab grown out there. There's a lot of, you know, copies out there that may not be natural. So you just want to make sure that, you know, if you've never bought from said person or said store before, you just want to make sure that these stones are natural, because if it's not, then what's the point, right? So $78.88 on this one minus your 10%. Let me know if you would like to take it here. And if anyone is interested in any turquoise necklaces, I do have a selection. If you maybe were not here with us yesterday, we had a GI certified green diamond that I will do a quick little flash of, because this ring for this price should not still be here. So if you maybe did not see this, that is here for anyone who would like to take it. So diamond collectors, if you were out and about yesterday, totally understand. We do have a GI certified green diamond that is here with us today. It will be here until either it goes or it gets melted down tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Friday, we all come back and things do get worked on. So let me know on this one. Now next up, I was thinking we go and take you to a green gemstone. A green gemstone that we see a lot of these smaller stones of. We don't really see these in this larger size, but here I'm going to bring you a pretty impressive size in this green gemstone that we like to call Tsavorite. It looks like that. Beautiful stone. It is clean. That's first thing. It's clean, right? 1128772 is going to be your item number on this one. But Tsavorite, first of all, you have to see if the stone is clean. Clarity is very important on this stone. It does tend to be also rather included. And especially for these larger stones too, you just really have to make sure. And it's, you know, it can be difficult, right? Similar to the Mandarin garnets, it can be difficult to get a stone as clean as this one. And the second thing that I would watch out for is whether or not the stone is or has an open color. Because when your stone is too dark, which I have a Tsavorite in a pendant in the back that is too dark, I did not choose to show it because, you know, what's the point? You can't really see the green color. All you see is a really dark stone with maybe a green flash here or there if you hold it at the perfect angle, right? Like, I'm not gonna show it, right? I don't like it. I'm not gonna show it. You can't see that it is a green stone. You can't see that it's a Tsavorite, right? This one, 287, it is a square cushion cut, and you can see how open that color is, right? How vivid, how bright it is. It's not too dark, and it's not too light to the point where it kind of looks like the Marilani mint garnets, right? Which, you know, perfectly fine stone, by the way, but personally speaking, if you were to shop for a Tsavorite, I would go for one where you look at it and you're like, oh yes, that is a Tsavorite, right? It's not, oh yeah, maybe that's a Tsavorite, right? So this is your ring, one of the larger stones that we have here today, 53 points total weight for all of your diamonds. Similar concept with the previous ring we just had. You have your round diamonds at the very top and bottoms here, and then through the middle you have your tapered baguettes on this one ring. $99.99 was where it started, but here today it is not going to be the case here. Again, these collectible materials, collectible stones that you typically see in like a 1/2 carat size, a 1 carat size, right? This is a 287, a size that even I do not see that often. I've had 3 carat stones, 4 carat stones in the past, and that's it, right? Never saw anything in that middle ground here, but this one, that is going to be in that middle ground. If you already have, you know, a smaller stone, or if you're a collector and you're like, oh, I don't prefer smaller stones, right? I prefer something that no one else has, right? This is going to be your ring, and you're not even going to have to pay $59.99 for it here. I'm going to grab it here and I'm going to try it on the best I can, which it's not going to fit that well because it's currently not my size, but there it is on that pinky there, and look, right? Same exact thing, barely moving my hand, and this stone is dazzling, right? It is bright green. You can see that green. You can see that it is a green stone, right? Simply put. And guess what? It's not even going to be $39.99 either. We'd love to get this out of here. Again, we will size this for you. Just has to stay like it is in the platinum here, but look at that, right? Again, can you imagine having this on your hand and your hand just moves ever so slightly just like that, right? Look at the way that that stone comes to life. And it's like, hi, I'm here. I have arrived to the party. And it's not even $39.99. I can't believe it. We've had larger stones before go for double, if not triple the price. And those stones were just, you know, 2 carats larger than this one. And yet here this stone is dressed up with fancier diamonds too. The ones that we had before, they were just regular round white diamonds, right? This one has got it all. For a stone that looks like this, of course we had to give it, you know, an upgrade for the diamonds. And this is what we're going to do on this one. Again, it's not a pinky ring, but that's where I can wear it right now. So we will size it for you, no worries there. It is true to size on this one. You can wear it alone. And if you wanted to maybe experiment and dress it up with a ring guard here or there, you can try that out too, but it's not going to be $39.99. That's what it looks like from the side as well. So not half the hand at all. And look at that, right? You have your triple split shank going down the side right there. all of the attention is in the front where you have your Tsavorite stone. And let's bring it back up close here and take another quick look here. Show you what it looks like from the side too, so you can also see that bright open color. And very important, from the back, if you want to see or check if a stone has any sort of, you know, imperfections or inclusions or flaws or color zoning, you always look at it from the back, because then you can see directly through the stone. You don't have to worry about the facets, you know, reflecting light back into your eyes and getting distracted by it. But if you look at it through the back, you will see if there are any imperfections in your stones, and I am seeing absolutely nothing. So there it is. It is your perfect Tsavorite stone here, set into a ring, ready to be worn. And all you got to do is call me right now, because we're going to make it $3,499 minus your 10% off today. $34.99 minus 10% off on one of our larger Tsavorites that we currently have in our inventory here. And it is up here and for sale, minus 10% off. And of course, any requests are welcome. I know today's a very busy day for a lot of us here. But that also means, you know, there's not a lot of people watching today, which is perfect. So if you have a request that you want to spend more time on, or if you have a couple of items that you are thinking about, you're not sure which one to get, right? Today is that perfect day to call in with those requests and say, I'd like to see a selection of these stones, or these rings, or those pendants, earrings, whatever it is, right? You just let us know. We can bring it out here and show for you here today. And you can take your time and decide, because, you know, you do have to, you know, really think about which pieces you do want to invest in, which pieces that when you get, you will, you know, love, first of all, and wear pretty often, right? And hopefully this is also one of those pieces. $34.99 on this one. I have blooming black Tanzanites today. However, I don't have any rings, so rings are pretty much done for now. But I do have a pendant. It is that cushion cut. Not the one that I flashed yesterday. I get that the one from yesterday was a little bit scary because it was a pretty large size stone. But I have one today that is a 1522, so a little bit smaller than the one from yesterday, but still a really pretty stone, a really beautiful size. And I also have a pair of fancy cut blooming black Tanzanite earrings in case anyone is interested in that. So just throwing that out there. I know it's like blooming black Tanzanites, don't really see them anymore, and it's like, yeah, I wish we had more, but we just don't. So let me know if you want to see either of those here. I also do have a selection of rings here today. I have 4 rings that are coming up, but the thing is with these is that they are going to be in different styles and different prices, but with different center stones. So it's kind of like a last call on a lot of these mounting sort of day where, you know, we have a lot of rings that are, you know, larger, require more gold weight. But the rings that I have coming up, the 4 rings, they will have a mixture of white and yellow diamonds, and they will be in that dome style. So if you remember those styles, yes, I have a couple here today. I have one with an emerald, one with a cornflower blue sapphire, one with a yellow diamond, and one with a Burma ruby. So, you know, some pretty high level stones in these rings that are here today. If you want to see either or any of those, let me know and we can bring it out here. And next up, might as well bring it out, right? We had a smaller, pretty nice blue zircon at the very beginning of the show, but here we go, bringing out the big boys, bringing out the private collection stones. Next up is 1127918. Call me on this one. Again, a clean stone. It is a beautiful one. And next up, speaking of dome mountings, it is going to be a stone that looks like that, right? A stone that I need to zoom back on because even our 2-carat Tsavorite was not zoomed back enough for this one. But here we go. This is our 839 out of the private collection. It is a beautiful stone. So of course we had to dress it up with 227 of just the diamonds. And if you have our dome rings, our saddle rings, right, this is not like the other rings. This has diamonds so large that you can easily see each individual stone in the body of the ring, right? It's not like micro paved where you have teeny tiny little stones, right? This has large accent stones. Those white diamonds on the sides there, those are sizable stones. And they are going to be larger than the stones that are actually paved inside of the flower petals that you see that are right next to your blue zircon there. But those diamonds on the band, those are substantial. That is why they are, so much brighter, so much more sparkly than the ones that are set next to your center stone. But everything in there, VS diamonds, of course, perfectly matched. Yes. Thank you very much. Looks like the Tsavorite may be gone. It is a beautiful stone and definitely collector's worthy here. But on this blue zircon, right, I think the small one at the very beginning might still be here. So if that's the case, maybe we have to bring it out for a side by side. But if you're looking for a larger one, right, something that came out of the private collection, because just because it came out of the private collection does not mean that, oh yeah, we get to, take the price, multiply by 2, and everyone's going to be, jumping forward for it, right? We still want to, price it like it should be, but just know that you are seriously getting an upgrade to a blue zircon, a stone that, there is also varying levels of quality out there. We just don't see it here because, we don't want to bring those rejections out here, right? The rejections that we have might be someone else's treasure, right? But, we don't want to deal with that, right? Any color zonings, any, imperfections in the stones, right? We don't want to deal with that. We want to get you the absolute best of the best. And this is going to be one of them. I do recommend it. I very much so recommend it in the white gold. If you must change it, I would say maybe go with the yellow gold, but for a stone that has this color, I would really keep it in the white gold. And also considering the fact that, all you're seeing is the diamonds and just a little bit of the gold where you have your prongs and where you have your, mirror finished gold flower shape going around your center stone, right? That's all you're seeing for the gold. So I really would keep it in the white gold here. And this is what we're gonna do on this ring that started at $11,999. It is a large and impressive ring, and honestly, I love these dome styles because my first thought would be to wear it on the index, but it can't fit me right there on the index. But here it is on that ring finger here, and look at that, $839, a stone that looks like this. Even from here, that stone is so intense, right? Very similar concept with the other blue zircon we had, where there's no color zoning, there's no secondary colors to it, right? The moment there's a secondary color to it, a lot of people would just go ahead and say, oh yeah, look at that, it's a bicolor stone, how special, right? When in fact, it's not in fact a bicolor stone. It just, doesn't have that, ideal color throughout the entire stone. But this, there's no secondary color, there's no browns, there's no greens, there's no, grays, right? It's not a dull stone at all. The cutting is perfect, there's no window to it. And the color is perfect too, right? It is blue, it is bright blue. You're not gonna look at this and go, ah yes, aquamarine, I love that stone, right? You're gonna look at it and go, wow, look at that blue zircon. There's something about this stone that is just different from all of the rest. And here it is today, in a ring, on my hand, soon to be in your hands here. And this is what we're gonna do on this one. Not even going to be $7,999. And again, keep in mind, a stone that has this size in the center, a stone that has 227 of diamonds, it does require a lot of gold to accommodate all of these stones. And it curves, right? It's a dome style. We didn't decide to, oh yeah, just end the diamonds where the stone ends so we can save a little bit of money on the diamond costs, right? So that we can save a little bit money on the gold costs, right? Just hollow it out, right? Absolutely not. We went overboard, a little overboard with this one, where quite literally you don't see the gold at all, right? And that's perfect because like we talked about, you're gonna have this on your hand and you might see it from this angle most of the day, right? Sometimes you'll go like, ah yes, my ring. But you're also going to see it from these angles, and this also matters, right? Instead of looking at an empty space, right? Or looking at the sides of a basket, right? You are looking at VS diamonds. You are looking at an angle of your private collection blue zircon. And this is what this ring is all about here. Again, not high off the hand at all. I love how the gold really just wraps around your center stone there. And I love how the blue zircon is set into the dome ring so that it's not, you know, popping out, right? Because if you have a stone that sits a little too far out of the ring, then that's a little concerning, right? You might, you know, accidentally bump your hand one day and then suddenly, boom, your private collection blue zircon, you know, is in danger. But this, absolutely not. It is perfected. It is protected by your gold and diamonds here. And of course, it's not going to be even $59.99. Would love for someone to grab this here today. And very much like every other private collection stone out there that we've had, like, I would really love for you to just see this in person and just try it out, right? You get 10% off. And if you see it in person, you're like, oh, it's a really nice stone, but maybe not for me, right? Set it on back, right? Even if it's private collection, doesn't mean that, you're stuck with it forever, right? So again, you really have to see what this is all about, because I guarantee you what you're seeing on your screen right now is not the same as, you know, what it looks like in person, right? It looks, a lot of these things, they look a lot better in person. And again, how many times have I heard it, right? Have you heard it from someone else where it's like, oh yes, like you see these pieces in person, it's like, it looks nothing like what it looked like on the TV screen. It looks so much better in person than through a screen, because again, everyone's settings are maybe a little bit different, right? The quality of, you know, let's say your stream is a little different, right? So you really have to see these pieces in person, and it's not even going to be $49.99 either. Again, we are bringing it way down low, and on top of that, adding 10% off at checkout. It's not even $49.99, and we're gonna put it back up close so you can see what your ring is all about once again. And I don't think I showed you, but here it is from the side up close, so you can see truly where your diamonds end, right? It's not just, it doesn't just end where your little flower ends, right, at the very top there. It goes quite literally to your finger. So you don't have to worry about an empty space where it's like, oh yeah, there's nothing to look at there, right? You are looking at diamonds throughout the entire thing. And on top of that, you do have an under gallery. So for a ring of this size, the last thing we want to happen is for it to be uncomfortable to wear. So an under gallery is the only solution, and an under gallery is what we have done here. So again, it's very comfortable to wear. And I have a small hand, and you saw it on my hand. It's not too large to wear at all. The way it forms around your finger, it fits comfortably. It is true to size on this one. It's not even $49.99 on this ring here today. And again, I just can't get over, you know, the entire ring, right? Not just the center stone, but the entire ring. All of these diamonds set so perfectly where it's like smooth to the touch almost. And it's not $49.99. If you would like it, call me right now. My one and only private collection blue zircon that I have here today, we are going to make it $4,499, and that is it on my one and only private collection blue zircon in this particular mounting. If you want something else that has, you know, slightly different design, you know, a little less diamonds, I'm sure we have something in the back. But if you want, you know, the absolute best, and personally one of my favorites in terms of the center stone and the mounting combined, it is going to be this ring here today for only $44.99 minus your 10% off at checkout, and we will see who is going to grab it here today. And if you, in case you missed it, we also had a smaller stone. We had a $4.89 earlier today. I don't know if that's still here, if that's gone. So just call your operators to make sure here, but this one is here at $44.99 minus your 10% off. I mean, if you really think about it, $227 of diamonds, right? If assuming diamonds cost $1,000 a carat, which they don't, especially of VS quality. If you consider the cost of gold today to make this one ring, which I guarantee you, if you melt this ring down, like right now, you can make at least 2 or 3 rings out of it, right? Like, just considering those two aspects, and then considering the cost of that, and then considering the fact that there is an 839 blue zircon in the center stone, like, you're getting something free here, and it's all looking to be that private collection blue zircon, right? We cannot recreate this mounting today for $44.99, and we sure cannot recreate it for $44.99 minus 10% off. So now is your chance to grab it. I honestly, you know, a lot of these pieces, like, how are we still doing this, right? How are we still giving you these pieces at this price and still taking 10% off at checkout? It confuses me sometimes, but here we are. Let me know on this one. And next up, the very first pendant of today, we have also a private collection piece. I feel like that goes without saying. it is going to be our heart-shaped Rubilite in a pendant. This is going to be on the other side of the designer spectrum, where on the blue zircon we have a piece that is just surrounded and covered in diamonds. And then this next piece is going to be a piece that is only with gold and your center stone, and that is it. Very simple, very minimalistic, everyday wearable. Don't get me wrong, this ring is also everyday wearable here, but something for the neckline that is also everyday wearable with also a beautiful stone. It is going to be 1128458, and we are going to move along here. Again, if you want to think about this for a moment, please feel free to do so. Write down those item numbers. They will help you when you do call in to ask about certain pieces, especially this one right here. So we are going to move along here to our heart-shaped Rubilite in a pendant here. Now this is going to be your Rubilite stone. It is a heart shape, and I know it's still a couple months away, but I think this might be a little nice gift for, you know, Valentine's Day. It'll be here before you know it. And this is going to be our 468, easy to remember carat weight in the heart-shaped private collection Rubilite. Also going to be a tourmaline here, and no diamond weight because there is not a single diamond in this piece right here. But look at that stone, right? I love Rubilites, especially when they kind of have a similar, you know, problem with indicolites, where if a stone is just pink, just like a little bit of a darker pink, right? A lot of people also just look at it and go, just call it a Rubilite, right? People love Rubilites, they'll buy it, right? That I have a little problem with. This is a stone that, yes, has pink flashes, right? Hot pink flashes. Looks like Mahenge pink spinel flashes, but it also has a level of that red color to it, right? Where, you know, some Rubilites that we have here, I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a nice ruby, right? But no, it is Rubilite, right? It has to have that layer of, you know, red color to it. So it's not just, you know, a pink stone, because a pink tourmaline would just be a pink tourmaline. But this is your Rubilite. It's got that layer of red to it. It's in the yellow gold right now, which quite honestly, I do love it the way it is, given the fact that it does have, you know, gold presence to it, being the bail. And this is what we're gonna do on our $49.99 was price Rubilite pendant here today. I don't think we have any other Rubilites in the heart shape, like at all. Once upon a time we had a beautiful, really large heart-shaped Rubilite pendant, but that is long since gone. But here we are, the other option that we have here today. And I just think it's the perfect symbol of love, right? Rubilite being that pink and red color, love being, you know, hearts, right? The universal symbol for love, hearts. I mean, you've got it all in a package deal in this one pendant, and when you wear it on the neckline too, it'll be pretty close to your heart too. So I think that's a really cute little idea if you want to, you know, get it as a gift idea or get it for yourself, right? Self-love is very important. What we're going to do on this one though, we're going to bring it down so it's not even going to be $29.99. Again, gold is gold, and when you have a private collection stone, you know, that just really tells you that you have to seriously consider these pieces and not just go, oh yeah, they'll have another one, right? They'll have another one, right? The private collection, I wish it was, you know, infinite, right? I wish it was never ending, but unfortunately there is a cutoff. There is a, all right, that's it, we have no more stones, right? This is one of those stones that you don't see a lot of, right? How many Rubilites have you seen in the last year by itself, right? Probably not a lot, probably enough to count on your two hands, right? $29.99 on this one, not going to be your price. We'd love to get it out of the door here, and this is what it looks like against the hand as well. So really just want to show you that size perspective, because this is not a small little stone, right? A 468 heart shape. Yes, there's not a lot of, you know, not a lot going on design-wise here, but that center stone by itself, right? It is still impressive. The color is open. Tourmaline, naturally very included stone, and this one does have inclusions, yes, but overall, look at that. If this stone were entirely covered with inclusions, it would not be doing this right now. It just looked like a dark stone, kind of like that, right? But this one has, you know, has sparkle in it, and that's very important, especially for these faceted gemstones here. So if you would like it, we're gonna make it $22.99 minus your 10% off at checkout on this one here today. Again, I would highly recommend it like it is in the yellow gold, but you don't have to keep it like it is. And this is also what it looks like in the neckline or against the neckline here. I mean, right, no matter what you are wearing, I'm wearing pink today. It makes my pink look rather dull. And against, you know, white and black, right? I mean, this is just a stone that is highly reflective and has a lot of sparkle in it. Not all of these do, which is why probably that this one came out of the private collection, because it definitely is different from the rest. And let's bring it back up close here for another quick look here. And I will also show you what it looks like from the side here. So this one piece does have it has a fingerprint, but it also does have a basket there. So it's not going to be, you know, the stone sitting directly against your neckline. There is going to be a layer of gold that is there that, you know, is going to protect the stone as well. And again, kind of like a hidden hearts motif, even though the entire piece is basically a singular heart there. But, you know, you do have a basket here, so it's going to lay on your neckline perfectly flat, and you can wear it every single day if you would like to. And it's only $22.99 minus your 10% off here today. Let me know if you'd like to grab it. Now, I'm going to probably pause on the blue zircons here, but I do have a pair of earrings if anyone is interested. The earrings are with round blue zircons. It's $660 in the total weight of these rounds, and they are going to be a drop and with a lever back style. So in case anyone is looking for a larger style of, you know, dangled drop earrings with the blue zircons, I have one single pair here today, but this cannot stay for $22.99 minus your 10% off. And I think we have to get to it. My selection of 4. So the only conundrum that I have is that they're all different prices. So what I might do is that I might just put them all up together, and if you guys have a favorite, you guys can call in and let me know, and we can present it, whatever your favorite is. But I do have 4 rings. They are going to be 4 different prices, but I just thought we have to bring them all out together because of the variety that the mountings are. So if you like yellow diamonds, if you like white diamonds, if you like dome-styled rings, if you like all of that put together with an additional gemstone in the center, I have 4 options here today. And I honestly, looking at them right now, I can't pick and choose. So we're gonna get to it right here. Let me know on my private collection Rubilite tourmaline pendant. And here we go on this one. I think I'm going to arrange it from lowest to highest here. So there we go. All right, let me know on this one. We're going to move right along here. Now, the very first of the bunch is going to be this one right here, and I am going to have to zoom way back out because there is going to be 4 rings on one wheel. And again, keep in mind that these are all going to be different prices. We have our Colombian emerald, we have our cornflower blue sapphire, so these 2 are going to be in our front row here. Next up, we have our yellow diamond, which I'm going to put maybe back here. And we also do have another one with a Burma ruby. So we have 4 rings up here. And yes, the emerald and the ruby are going to be in the same style here, but different prices. Everything up here is a different price. So I just thought one last look at all of these because, I mean, these do require a lot of gold to create, and these center stones are also no joke. So if there's anything up here that you would like to see, that you want to know more about, let me know, but they're just here. So if you want to, you know, take a picture and, you know, think about it, you can do that. But all of these pieces up here do have under galleries. So every single ring is going to be comfortable to wear. So I'll turn these 2 around. So same exact design for the under galleries here. So you're not going to have to worry about the ring catching on your finger. You're not going to have to worry about, you know, discomfort while wearing it. This is all going to be super comfortable as you wear it on your hand. And if I had to pick one out of the 4 to really just present, I'm kind of torn between the emerald and the yellow diamond. I do love the sapphire and I do love the ruby, but between the emerald and the yellow diamond, I feel like I like those 2 the best. I do like that blue sapphire mounting though. So every single ring up here does have a lot of those white and yellow diamond accents, but let me try one on actually. So let me take yellow diamond. I'll try on the yellow diamond. All right, so here we go. And all of these rings also, I think, work perfectly on the index. Because again, a lot of the rings we do here, they're not exactly built for the index, right? They're not exactly, you know, they don't feel right when you wear it on the index. They don't even, a lot of the rings don't even look right when you wear it on the index finger. But for these styles, I think it could work, right? It has a dome style design where it's durable enough, right? It has enough metal in it, enough gold in it to really, you know, give it that index finger look. And here it is. Of course, you don't have to wear it here too. You can also wear it on the ring finger, which I'm gonna move over right now so you can see what that looks like. So again, truly anywhere you want, maybe except for the pinky and the thumb. And it could also be one of those rings where if you happen to be able to wear the same size, you know, here, here, and here, right? You can get that size and you can switch it up, right? It could be, you can switch it up in the same day. You could switch it up, you know, today versus tomorrow, right? So this is also a selection of very versatile designs that can be worn every single day differently or not, up to you. And look at that, right? All of these stones are not high off the hand at all. That's another concern, especially with the dome, where the ring itself already curves forward. You don't want your center stone to be jutting out of it, and none of these pieces do have that problem. So let's bring it back up close here. And might as well, since we've already tried on the yellow diamond, might as well bring that up here. So the yellow diamond is going to be 1122639, and I'm going to move the others aside here, but if you have any other favorites, I will be able to bring them back here. But this one, let's get to this one since yellow diamond does seem to be the most popular here. And there it is, gonna zoom in just a hair here so you can see your entire ring. This is in the 14K white and yellow gold, carat 51 center stone. It is your VS center stone. And the accent yellow diamonds, sometimes I look at it and I think those cannot be yellow diamonds, right? Sometimes I look at it, I'm thinking, it has to be sapphire or something, right? There is no way that those accent stones are yellow diamonds because they are too saturated, right? You've seen other yellow diamonds out there that someone else has, that, you know, other places have, that, you know, they look just a little bit yellow and they're calling it a yellow, which sure, right? But, you know, does it look good, right? It has a name, yes, but it's all about the looks, right? No one cares about the name. Everyone cares about the looks. How does it look? No one's going to ask you, right, where you got your, you know, barely yellow diamond from, right? People are going to ask you where you got this ring from, though, right? With the saturation of your center stone and carat 51, you saw it on the hand, it is not a small stone at all. I love how the yellow and white diamond accents, they just curve and weave and wrap around your center stone here, giving it a really dynamic look, right? Contrary to that blue zircon ring we just had, where it feels very still, right? The rows of diamonds, they just go straight down the sides, right? There's no like internal movement to it, which is perfectly fine, right? All of your focus is on that center stone. But for this one, it's like you're looking at this piece, you're looking at this ring, and then it feels like it's moving, right? It doesn't feel like it's still. Like it is obviously moving, like it's on the wheel or like spinning, but you know, there's something about the way that the curves are done where it just perfectly fits around your cushion cut center stone, that it just, there's like a level of life to it, right? It doesn't feel like really, oh, just whatever, right? Just design something, just here's some yellow diamonds, here's some white diamonds, just do something with it, right? It feels very well thought out. And if you would like this one, this ring was supposed to be $15,999. If you saw this semi-mount somewhere else without that yellow diamond center stone, that is a price that probably everyone else will be asking for just that same amount, especially if they deal with VS diamonds, right? Not everyone has access to or even has the ability to deal with VS diamonds, because then their prices might not look the same as ours, right? They're like, oh, we're gonna charge a premium because these diamonds are better. We want to give you the best right off the bat. We don't want to like, oh, here's some I3 diamonds. And then by the time you get to VS, you'll be like, whoa, I want to get VS right now. We're going to give you VS from the start so you know what quality looks like, because when you think of fine jewelry, right, you think of quality, you think of high end, you think of, you know, dollar signs, right? It doesn't have to be like that. This ring is not going to be even $79.99 for a ring that in total has 264 in diamonds, in natural diamonds from the earth, untreated diamonds, right? It's not like we took a Sharpie and we're like, oh yeah, let's color all these diamonds, make it yellow diamonds, right? No, this came out of the earth. There's no, you know, human intervention when the stone was created. The earth created these stones. All we did was take the stones, facet them, set them in a ring, and put the ring up here. That's all we did, right? So I would love for someone to have this, and if not, of course, we're gonna just take it apart. A little bit sad, but melt it down, because dome rings, they do require that much more gold to create just one ring, right? We saw the blue zircon ring not too long ago, right? That by itself takes a lot of material just to make, a lot of time just to set the stones. And I can only wish for there to be a diamond setting machine, but there's not. Every single stone that you see is set by hand, by a human, one by one, right? This, although it may not look like it, right? It's not like a painting where sometimes you can see the paint strokes, right? You can see where the person actually was, right? Although you cannot see it necessarily for fine jewelry, just know that there is an artist working that has worked on these pieces, right? To set these stones perfectly, right? And it almost looks like it's too perfect. The way that the stones are all set, so they are all at the same depth, right? It almost looks too perfect, like a person really was not here. But do not be mistaken, a person, a whole team of people actually, are behind these pieces to create these pieces for you to really just admire, right? Admire, wear, and love every single day. You know, similar thing can be said about clothing, right? Clothing is often, you know, it looks perfect, but of course, clothing, there's, you know, machines that do help out. But this is a yellow diamond ring, and I would love for someone to have it here. Instead of $79.99, we're going to bring it all the way down. If you would like it or just consider it, we are going to make it $4,999 and take your 10% off of that. And yes, I will give you another tour of the ring here. That is what it looks like from the side. So the diamonds do end right where your fingers meet, so it's not going to, you know, it's not going to disturb you, right? And not to mention, I don't think I mentioned this today, but you can see where you have your diamonds set into the gold. So the highest point of the ring is going to be your gold. It's actually not going to be the diamonds. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but looking at the far left side of the ring right now, like the diamonds, the very front of the diamonds are in the perfect surface as the gold. So it's not, you know, poking out. It's not going to be, you know, super bumpy and textured when you know, run your finger across it, right? It's going to be smooth to the touch, and I love this because then that means it doesn't get caught, right? Again, colder weather is here. We're going to be bringing out, you know, the sweaters, the knits, right? And the last thing we want to do is for our, you know, $5,000 ring to get caught on a sweater and, you know, ruin it, right? Not the case here. It's not going to happen. And of course, from the very back, you do have your undergallery here, which if you don't know, the undergallery does make a ring more comfortable, and not all rings have it, because not all rings have, you know, this level of space behind it. It's usually the wider style rings, or especially the dome style rings, that do have an undergallery here. We will size this one for you, whatever size you need. It is true to size because it does taper nicely in the back here. And we can do quarter and half sizes too, but this is $49.99 minus your 10% off here. And let me also just run on over and say hello here and welcome you to the second hour of today. Hi everyone, my name is Joyce, and what a great first hour that has been. The yellow diamond is up here with me right now, and it's a ring that you can spot from miles away, right? So really consider it. I'll bring it back in a moment, but Thank you for being here with me so far. My name is Joyce, and I'm covering for Lauren today. She'll be back with us tomorrow. So, and happy Thanksgiving too. I forgot that it was Thanksgiving. And yeah, if you have any requests, let us know. Of course, if there's anything that you see off of the website, if, again, very nice to have, a visual of, because if you say yellow diamond ring, that could mean anything. So if there's anything that you see off the website, you want to just call in and say, hey, I'd like to see that. And if you want to, just take it, just call us back and say, I'll take it, right? Or you can also stay on the phone if you want to. But, requests are very much appreciated because, I just have, private collection up here, right? But private collection may not be for everyone. So if there's anything specific that you want to see, you just let us know. We have operators here at the ready. So thank you for being here so far. And let's take another look at our empty wheel here as I put up the ring one more time, as I hurry on over and put the ring down one more time here. And actually what I was going to do was I was going to try it on. So let me actually just try it on for a moment here. So again, perfect for the ring finger or also for the index. I currently have it on my ring finger here, so there it is. And if you want to, you can also wear it on your middle finger here. So let's take a look at it on the hand here, and there it is, right? Again, a ring that you can see for miles away. And let me actually move it over to my middle finger too, just in case, right? Just in case you wanted to wear it there. Truly a very versatile ring and a design like no other. I wouldn't even know what I would type, in a search engine to look up a comparison for just the mounting alone, right? Yellow diamonds, loose stones, sure, right? Everyone has those, but a mounting like this, not everyone has the ability to do. Not everyone is willing to do. So the fact that we have it here at $49.99 minus your 10% off is something that should not be overlooked. So let's bring it back up close here, and we'll give it a couple more, seconds here before we move along. And of course, if there's anything else from the quartet of these dome style rings that you want to see, I had an emerald, ruby, and blue sapphire. So if there's any of those that you want to see a full up close look on, I can bring it back. I'll have it in front of me right here, and we can get to those. But this is here for the time being. Again, you do not want to miss out on it because it's either it goes home with you or it goes to the back and it gets taken apart, which is a little bit sad. But if it has to happen, then it has to happen. And that is the end of the story. So let me know on this one. Again, think about it. Write down those item numbers here. If you want to see my green diamond, I do have a green diamond. We had it yesterday. And as of right now, it is still currently available, of course. Did start a lot of conversations on that one. So I'm glad that, there's interest in that one. But of course, if you want to see it again, I do have it. And here we go. Might as well continue with the white and yellow diamonds, but this time with a different shaped center stone. One that I do love this stone, as is evidenced by, what I had yesterday. But here it is. This is going to be Mandarin garnet. This is 1129666, and this is our trillionth cut Mandarin garnet. It is so intense that I don't know if it's my eyes, playing tricks on me, but I'm starting to see like a little pink in the stone. So it might just be me, but this stone is so incredibly intense. This is why trillion cuts, one of my favorite cuts out there. This is our 347 center stone. You've got your still, yes, some pretty intense yellow diamonds around your center stone, 19 points to be exact. And to wrap it all up, you do also have 40 points total weight of your white diamonds on the outside. You do have your diamonds on the outside larger. So those stones are going to be larger than your yellow diamonds. Two-tone gold on this one. And start price on this one was $79.99. I mean, I feel like this one deserves a private collection label to it, and it certainly does look like it is from the private collection, but to be on the safe side, we're gonna leave that out for now. But I mean, the quality is there, right? The clarity, the intensity, the fire. I mean, I'm gonna zoom into the stone here, and we're all going to take a look inside of this Mandarin garnet and see where are the inclusions, right? This is in fact Mandarin garnet, and you've seen what they look like before. You've seen, the level of quality they can be. And yet here we are taking it to the very next level on a stone like this. Trillion cuts too, we don't see a lot of trillion cuts in this particular stone. And even overall, right? We don't see a lot of the trillion cuts, and every time we have a trillion cut, whatever stone, right? It always flies out the door, right? We have more heart shapes than we do trillions, right? Every time we have a trillionth blue wing black Tanzanite, right? Those tend to fly out the door very quickly, and there's no surprise why, because when you have a cutting like this, the stone just gets intensified, right? It's not like it's not like in, let's say, pear-shaped, right? This trillionth has their facets positioned in a way where it's almost like looking directly at each other. It's almost like a Portuguese cut round is what I'm trying to say here, right? It's just the way that the stone is cut that just allows it to do this. And wait till you see it on the hand here, because this is a stone that you do not want to mess around it with. So here it is on the hand, and again, yes, it is a rather large stone. Yes, it is a rather large ring, but yes, it is true to size and everyday wearable. I love that we didn't go too crazy all out with this one, because that just means that you can wear it every single day. And I guarantee you, people will be turning and looking at your hand and wondering, what in the world are you wearing? They'll probably ask, oh, is that a citrine? It's really nice, right? Absolutely not. This is Mandarin garnet, that perfect orange color. And here's what we're gonna do on this one. Instead of $79.99, we're not even going to make it $3,999. Would love for someone to have this. And again, a beautiful cut, right? It's making our VS diamonds struggle a little bit, right? It's giving it competition, which is always a good thing, right? Especially in this case. Now, if the diamonds were any lesser quality, then it's like, oh yeah, there's no competition. But here, absolutely it does. And I love how the gold band kind of just blends into the background, right? It's like, I don't even care if there's a band or not. I just want the diamonds and that Mandarin garnet. That's what it looks like from the side right there. So again, you have your basket and not have the hand at all. Single bands going through the center here. Not even $39.99. Would love for someone to have it here today. And let me actually try it on the index, because I'm just a little curious as to what it might look like on the index here. So I'm thinking that could also be a nice idea, right? We had some styles yesterday that, may not necessarily work on the index, but I think this one could, right? This one absolutely could. And of course, being the trillionth, you can angle it outwards, you can angle it to yourself, however you want to wear it is completely up to you. But look at that stone, right? From whatever angle you look at it from, it's just dazzling, it's just bright, right? And these stones are supposed to be included, but this one is not. It is so incredibly intense. We don't have another trillion cut in this size possible or available, or a loose stone. We have nothing. I do have trillions in a pair of earrings, but those stones are smaller than this one. So this is what we're gonna do on this. Our one and only trillion cut Mandarin garnet inner ring here today. We're gonna put it up close. I'm gonna put it down facing the other way so we can have a different angle, a different look into our ring here. And if you would like it, you call me right now. We're gonna make it $32.99 minus your 10% off at checkout, and that is it on my one and only $347 Mandarin garnet ring that looks like this, dressed up with your, I almost called it fancy. It's not, exactly GI certified accent stones, but it sure does look rather fancy. Yellow diamonds and your bright, beautiful white diamonds here. $32.99 on this one, minus your 10%. Let me also show you what it looks like from the side here. So you do have your basket, your very nice layering up into your center, and then through the back, again, same exact thing with the Tsavorite. If you want to see if there's any inclusions or imperfections in your stone, doesn't matter if it's this stone, a Tsavorite, or any other stone, you look at it through the back and you try to see if there is in fact anything to be seen. And this stone, like, there's supposed to be inclusions, but I am not seeing any, right? And this is a natural stone from the earth, and it looks like this. So a great stone to have to your collection. If you already have a couple of these stones, I would recommend you get them in different shapes to really see what it is all about. And of course, the trillions by themselves are pretty rare. We don't really see them. In fact, I'm trying to think to the time even before we had private collection, if we even had a Mandarin garnet in a trillion. Like, I don't think so. Like, we had heart shapes, we had pear shapes, but I can't think of a single time that we might have had a trillion cut, especially not one that looks like this. So now is your chance to call us and grab a stone that looks like this, and it is as intense as it looks in person. So just keep that in mind, be prepared. So let me know on this one. And next up, have a green tourmaline. One of the largest stones that we have in a ring here today. And it is also in that mounting that we have not seen in a very long time. The last time we had this mounting, I feel like was either with a blue wing blocky Tanzanite or with a Royals and Barn garnet. It has been a while. And not to mention Royals and Barns, right? It's been a while since we've even seen much of that stone. So let me know on this one. We're gonna move along real quickly here to a green tourmaline. It is an emerald cut, also a very clean stone. And I might also have to zoom out for this one, but let me know on my Mandarin garnet here today. I mean, right, the moment it just goes up into the camera, it's like, hello. Added intensity here, $32.99 on this one, let me know. And next up we have my green tourmaline in a ring. I know we are all loving this one. And this is 1120852. And I gotta zoom out a whole bunch here, but look at that stone, at this piece right here, right? This is what tourmaline is all about, right? Look at that. A perfect green. Very similar to that Tsavorite green we had earlier today, but this instead is a tourmaline. It is our 1638 emerald cut center stone. And when you just look at it, when it hits the light just right, it just comes to life. It is like, it's almost like a bright neon glow. Just, it's almost like a light switch was turned on, right? That is what this stone is all about. I think the first and only emerald cut stone that I have here today. Haven't seen a lot of emerald cuts recently, actually. So this is definitely a nice little surprise, a nice little treat here. I love it when you just angle it down. It's like, oh, yeah, it's whatever. And then it hits the light and it's like, oh, that's really nice, right? So this is our ring. You've also got 50 points of your pear-shaped white diamonds. You have 3 at the bottom there, 3 at the top there. And for your round diamonds, you have 52 points total weight, kind of circling around. I love that this ring almost looks like it has a tiara, right? No matter how you wear it, it looks like it has a tiara. And this is this is a ring that started at $16,999. Because surprisingly or unsurprisingly to you, tourmalines, when they hit a certain size, can also skyrocket in price. In fact, we have a, they're calling it a hot pink tourmaline, but it is a, baseline, it is a pink tourmaline in the back that costs close to $10,000. And why is that? That is because it is not a small stone, right? We're so used to seeing small stones, but once you hit a certain size, suddenly it's like, oh, okay, the prices tend to skyrocket. And this is definitely one of those stones, right? I mean, collectors, hello. If you like large rings, hello, this is for you. The best part is that this ring was created a couple of years ago, right? This mounting I mentioned, haven't seen it recently. Again, the last time we had it was with the Royals and Barn. I can remember a blue wing blocky Tanzanite. At that point in time, I don't even know if the museum reserves came out, right? So it's been a long time. And here we are today with this one, the last one of its kind in our inventory. Cannot bring it back, cannot bring the style back. I mean, those pear-shaped diamonds are by themselves also, they really add to the price, right? Again, diamonds are not all priced equally. Had a conversation not too long ago with one of our callers, and they didn't know that you know, the different shaped diamonds, even if they're accent stones, they cost differently, right? The tapered baguettes, they tend to be ×2, ×3, right? The price based off of a simple millimeter size difference. Same exact things go for these pear shapes, the marquises, right? Whatever it may be, especially the princess cut diamonds, right? So everything is different here. Don't be fooled just because we tend to price everything the same here. But this is our ring, and it is not even going to be $8,999. We are honoring, saving that old price tag here, giving it one last chance, and I am sure that this is a stone that is definitely worthy of the private collection if it were to be taken apart here. But look at that, right? The way the inside of the stone just lights up and comes to life right here. I mean, it may just be a, you know, a still object, but there is so much depth that just kind of appears right in front of your eyes, right? The different layers of the green flashes here. And of course, the moment we are all waiting for, what it looks like on the hand. Well, here I am to show you. Now, because of the size of this ring, I think it is perfect on the middle finger. Of course, you can wear it wherever you want, but I think it's perfect here. I say the same thing not for a lot of rings. I say the same for the larger saddle ring, if you have one of those rings. I mean, you've probably heard me say that I would wear it on the middle finger. I just think weight-wise, it does balance more nicely on the middle finger as opposed to the ring finger, but of course you can still wear it there. I just think, you know, once it's on the hand, I do get to feel the weights of these pieces, and I just think that on the middle finger, it does wear more comfortably, but it is, you know, totally up to you, however you want to wear it. It does have to stay like it is in the white gold, however. And here's what we're going to do, not even going to be $7,999 on my green tourmaline ring right here. I mean, I know it's a very simple way to call this stone, right? A green tourmaline, right? It is not just your average green tourmaline, because there are green tourmalines out there that, for one, are really included, and for two, have a great color to it. Now, if I had time, I would have brought out some rejections, right? Not only green tourmalines, but also indicolites, you know, rubelites. There are rejections out there because the stone looks gray, which if it's supposed to be a gray gemstone, then sure, right? Gray is great. But if it's a green tourmaline and it's not a, you know, gray green tourmaline, right? You don't want any of those not as desirable colors in it, right? This is that bright, vivid, you know, pure color in your green tourmalines. Not every single green tourmaline looks like this. You could probably, you know, bring out your phones or your computers and look up green tourmaline, and you will see a wide variety of, you know, quality of these stones. And a lot of them will have inclusions in it, but this one singular stone does not. And let me move it over to the ring finger too, so in case you're curious as to what it looks like over there. So there it is on the ring finger. So again, it's totally up to you, but again, even just visually, I would say this ring wears the best on the middle finger. Do you see how, you know, because it's closer to the outside of your hand and to your pinky, it just kind of looks a little, you know, off balance. But once it's on your middle finger here, I just think that it just visually looks better, and it does feel better too on the hand. So, you know, something that we don't really talk about, but I just think that if you were to get this ring, definitely wear it here. It looks better, it feels better, it is better, and there it is from the side too. So large center stone there being our 1638, but a truly the perfect mounting to accommodate the stone, right? And could you imagine if this was a pendant? Like this as a pendant would be jaw-dropping. So let's bring it back up close here. Gonna take another look at it, and I will show you what the back of the stone looks like too, so that you can see what I mean by the stone is so perfectly clean, but that is also what it looks like from the side there. So even from the side, it is doing its best to just grab your attention here, and there it is from the very back of your ring. I mean, perfectly clean, and especially for a tourmaline of this size, right? The larger the stone is, the higher the chance that an inclusion is going to appear, right? Because when you have a small little stone that is a fraction of the size of this stone, right, there's not enough space in there for there to be, you know, a lot of inclusions. But when you have a stone of this size, suddenly it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot more real estate for us to kind of just have inclusions, right? But this stone, as you can see right here, is absolutely perfectly clean, right? I'm not, glossing over it. I am showing it to you. I'm giving you a good long look at the very back of your stone right here from all of the different angles here. Not a single inclusion to be seen. This is what our green tourmalines are all about. And it's not even going to be $79.99. Would love for someone to grab this one here today. Got this only one, as is everything here today. We are going to make it $6,499 on my one and only green tourmaline ring. You get your 10% off at checkout. It's unbelievable. So let me know on this one. Let's give it 60 seconds here before we move right along. Do not forget about my trillion to Mandarin garnet. That one absolutely has to go. Don't forget about my quartet of designer dome ring designs. My private collection blue zircon is also still here hanging out. But this ring, it's like, honestly, I'm very surprised that I even like this ring as much as I do, especially that center stone, especially considering the number of green tourmalines that I have seen, in the last couple of years here, right? Usually it's like, oh yeah, that's nice, right? It's just another green stone, right? It's a nice color, it's bright, right? It's nice, it's clean. But to have one in this size and to look like this, where it's not too dark, right? Because tourmalines also have this problem. Tourmalines also have a problem where if they're not cut right, a lot of them do have windows. In fact, a lot of the rejections that we have here, the tourmalines it looks really nice around the edges, and then in the center it's just one giant window. This stone, emerald cut, very prone to having windows, does not have a window. And it is just what else could you say about the stone to make it perfect for you, right? Is it the color, right? The color is there. Is it the clarity? I showed you there's nothing in the stone. Like there's no inclusions, right? Is it the size? Like if you want a smaller one, sure, we can look for one, but right, it's got the size. If you like a larger tourmaline, this one is the one for you. And the cut, I mean, you saw it, right? When it's facing away from the light, it might just look like a usual, normal, regular, faceted gemstone. And then the moment it hits the light, suddenly it's like, oh, am I even looking at the same stone? Let me also try on one more time here. I'm sure you guys can tell how much I love this ring right here, but that's what it looks like one more time on the hand, on the middle finger, and there we go, right? I mean, it just feels so nice right here, right? It feels so nice, it looks so nice. It just looks balanced on the middle, in the middle of your hand, right, where everyone is going to be looking, and this ring can be yours for $64.99 minus your 10% off at checkout. And this is what I mean, right? Facing away from the light, it's like, oh, that's a nice stone, right? And then suddenly it hits the light, and then the entire stone just comes to life just like that. And this could be yours. You gotta call me quickly though, because I don't have another stone that can do this. And I definitely do not have another mounting to try and even recreate the look here. So call me on this one. We're gonna bring it back up close one last time here. See who would like to pick it up here. And I do have, a private collection. It's like a blue-green tourmaline. It's a round single halo of diamonds, nothing too crazy. But that is like double this price. So it's also a very large stone, but for some reason that one is like, right? Of course, the round and tourmalines and how the crystal structure is for tourmalines, that may be a factor. But, if you want a large green tourmaline that looks real nice, this is the option for you here today. And next up, I do have a really interesting pendant. Talking about collectors here, if you want to collect ruby, sapphire, and emerald, the big three, in one singular piece, I do have a pendant here today. And all of these stones are also going to be a pretty decent size here. So next up is 1129415. And I think I'm going to have to show this against the hand here because it is a very flexible pendant, and it looks a little something like this. So that is what our big three looks like: our Colombian emerald, Burma ruby, and Ceylon blue sapphire at the very bottom there looks like in a one and done pendant right here. I remember the last time I had this mounting was with 3 different colored sapphires. And is this not the perfect mounting to just have, you know, different stones of different colors, right? We've also done it with 3 different garnets. Maybe that was the last time I had this piece or this design, right? We had one with Mandarin garnet, we had one with Tsavorite, and one with rose and Barin. And then before that, we had one with a yellow sapphire, pink sapphire, and cornflower blue sapphire, right? And now here, we have emerald, ruby, and sapphire. 313 total weight in all 3 of your stones combined. So each stone is going to be a little bit over 1 carat if the weight were distributed evenly amongst the 3. You also have 48 points total weight of all of your diamonds. Again, every single stone has a single halo. And between each section there, you do have a single diamond that is bezel set. So the look is really complete, right? Because if you just have a hinge between the 2 or 3 stones, right, it's going to look a little empty. It's going to look like it's missing something, but this is that design that really just completes the look. Supposed to be $79.99, and if this sounds like this could be your piece, you better call me quick because I cannot redo this one. I cannot bring it back. I wish I could though, because I think it would look really nice as, you know, a potential pair of earrings. I don't think we've ever done this style as a pair of earrings, but I think it could look really nice. But all 3 of these stones in here are really difficult to match, especially for the emeralds and the rubies. Sapphires, it's a little bit easier, but for those 2 at the very top there, it's not exactly easy to do. And if you would like this, we're gonna make it, oh, you know, $32.99 minus your 10% off at checkout on this piece right here. Stays like it is in the white gold. If you get it, it'll go out either tomorrow or early next week. You will get it well before Christmas here, and this is also what it looks like against the neckline here. So there we go, right? All 3 of your stones, all with their respectful colors, right? The Colombian emerald is bright and glowing. Your Burma ruby is also a very included stone, and yet it is also showing off that internal glow right there. And of course, your royal blue sapphire at the very bottom there. And let's bring it back up close, and I will show you what it looks like here. So excuse the green tourmaline here, and I will try my best to lay this down right here so you can see all 3 of your stones. Let me switch my tweezers here, and there we go, holding it kind of directly up into your eyes right there. So as you can see, very difficult to display because of how flexible it is, but it just looks that much better when it's on your neckline. You have your Colombian emeralds right there. Of course, a bright, beautiful stone. I have to say, out of the 3, my favorite is going to be that Colombian emerald, but that Burma ruby too also has its fair share of internal glow on that one. It's not just a, you know, completely opaque stone where you can't really see through it, right? You can definitely see the fire that this has. You can see through the stone there. And of course, at the very bottom, you do have your royal blue sapphire right over here. Very similar to what we went over yesterday with our 2-carat stone in the signature style, where this is a stone that it is not too dark at all, right? You can see very clearly what color this stone is. It's not, you know, you get the stone and it's, oh, play the guessing game. What is the stone? What could it possibly be? What color is it even, right? So here's where you have all 3 in one, and that's what they all look like from the back as well here. There we go. So you can also see the clarity that your stones do have, all 3 of them here. Of course, you also do have kind of like a solid gold basket to really accommodate all of your stones here. And there you have it, all 3 stones in one pendant, $32.99 on this one here. And one person will grab it here today on this one. White gold stays like it is. And I also have a Mahenge pink spinel pendant. In case anyone is looking, we don't usually have a lot of pendants here, but I do have one option here today. And one option that, you know, actually looks like Mahenge pink spinel, because we've had, you know, options in the past before where it just, the stones just don't read enough hot pink for me to go, oh yeah, I like this. So I have a Mahenge pink spinel in a pendant. It looks like this, and it is coming up next. Let me know. And do not forget about my green tourmaline. That one is still here. And let's get a move on from this one and move into another realm of hot pink, Mahenge pink spinel. This one is going to be 1128152. Looks a little something like this. This one also stays in the white gold here. And I'm just thinking of the ring we had yesterday because, you know, the ring we had yesterday may have been in an oval and this one is a cushion cut, but the same exact thing is happening where it looks like the stone is just dark, but the facets are cut so cleanly to the point where it is just reflecting the entire studio. This is 1128152, and this is our carat 29 center stone. Double halo of diamonds, diamonds going down the front of your bail, and it is here today for one caller only. Again, we don't have stones in this size, you know, available, ready to go around, to be set, to be given to everyone, right? I wish that was a chance. In fact, earlier today, I was going through our Mahenge pink spinels and I was just curious, right? What's left? Well, for what's left in the rings, all we have right now is high end. So unless you're okay with spending, you know, at least 5 figures on a ring, that's all we have. The only other ring we have is a teeny tiny little Mahenge pink spinel. It's like 10 points. It's in a ring. It's, you know, under 1,000, but right, when you have a stone that is a bright neon color, I'd say you want to go for a pretty sizable stone so that you can actually see it, right? So that you can actually take a moment and appreciate it, right? Because this material is fairly limited for the whole world. And yet in the whole world, I have one right here in my hand as an opportunity for one of you guys to have. And it also has diamonds, 42 points, again, double halo there, and also diamonds going down the bail. So just a few points shy of being half carat of diamonds. A really impressive stone, dressed up just right, right? It's not overdone. It's not unwearable. In fact, this is one that you could very likely wear with the diamonds by the yard. So if you happen to have one of those diamonds by the yards, you could easily just string it through the bail right here and just wear it just like that, right? You don't have to wait for, you know, that one special occasion to bring it out and get it this, you know, huge fancy chain and, you know, right? You can wear it every single day because when you have a collectible stone like this, a stone that not everyone may necessarily have, right? You would probably want to wear it every single day and show it off, right? If you want to layer it, if I remember correctly, I believe we've done like a, you know, Mahenge's spinel by the yard necklace. I'm thinking of the bracelet, but I'm pretty sure we've also done a necklace. Like, layer it together with that, why not, right? Just go all out with the hot pinks. And this is our $69.99 piece. Of course, if I want to move it, we're not going to leave it there. You, of course, still get your extra 10% off. This stone is just crisp, right? It is sharp. It is not like, you know, if you were with me, you know, a couple months, if not, forgot, like last year, I had brought out a rejection stone. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was a really nice color, right? It was hot pink. It was, I believe, also a cushion cut. It was also kind of a similar size to this. But the only problem was that it looked like it was foggy, right? You couldn't see through the stone. You could see that, you know, it's a hot pink stone. You can see that it was, you know, pretty clean. You can see that there were facets on the inside, but it wasn't crisp. It wasn't sharp. It looked like there was fog inside of the stone. It didn't have this kind of like sparkle to it, right? It just was not ideal, right? Still Mahenge pink spinel, yes, but it doesn't compare to what we have right here in front of you. And for this one, it's no longer going to be $69.99. It's not even going to be $39.99. This is what it looks like against the hand here. Again, the bail surprisingly is pretty sizable too. So truly, if you wanted to put a diamonds by the yard through it, you absolutely could. And look at that, right? Once it's upright and against my hand, you can see how the stone really interacts with the light, how it's almost like a mixture of a cushion cut with an emerald cut stone, where once the light hits it just right, the stone just comes to life, right? It is a bright, hot, neon pink color. and it's not even going to be $29.99. Really love for someone to grab this because this is it. Unless you're willing to go larger in terms of the Mahenge pink spinels, right? I don't have anything else in this size range, in this 1 carat size. This is a carat 29. So again, it's a pretty impressive stone size. If you would like it, we're going to make it $2,499 minus your 10% off on this one here today. Stays like it is in the white gold. What you see is what you get. I wish I had, more stones to go around, but unfortunately I just do not. And this is also what it looks like against the neckline here. Again, we're moving further and further away, and this stone is just not giving up. And that is what it is all about here. Again, a pretty decent size too, especially if you wear it on your neckline, as you will. And it's $24.99 here today. Let's bring it back up close here and take another look at it before we move on. And there it is. Let me get a better hold of it here between the piece itself and the bail here, and there it is, right? And then directly through the back. No other colors to it, no inclusions to it. I'm gonna hold it perfectly still so we can look directly through the back of your stone here. And yep, that looks about as clean as possible and as hot pink as possible as well. Mirror finished gold. You do also have a basket here, so your stone's not going to be laying directly on your neckline. So it is going to be protected as well. And here we go, back to the front, and that is our hot pink Mahenge spinel. And yes, I mean, it's not like a pink sapphire color. It's not like a, any like a morganite color, right? This is hot pink. Truly, I'm sure there's a lot of gemstones out there that I don't even know of. But if you were to say hot pink gemstone, this is the first thing that comes to mind, right? The Mahenge pink spinel. And this, if it's hot pink, it better be hot pink, right? I don't want any pink sapphire looking gemstones. I don't want any, colorless gemstones. I don't want any too dark. Well, personal preference, but if you prefer the reds, that's fine. But for me, it's like, I want this color. And this stone is the color that I like. And it is here for $24.99. One caller gets it here today. Let me know on this one. And before we move on, let me just bring back a couple of pieces that we had from the first hour here in case you maybe missed it here. So let me know on this one. And it does stand up by itself, which is great news. And then I don't know if this one is still here, but at the very beginning we had a blue zircon in a ring. And it looked a little something like this. So I think this one is still here, so I will be bringing that back too. So let me know on this one. We're gonna move and do a quick little recap here. So in case you are just tuning in, we had a couple of pieces here and they are still here to my knowledge. So let me just get those out here. We also had a paraiba, a pear-shaped paraiba, in a ring that looked like this. So there we go. And we also had a cat's eye indicolite. So I think we're gonna focus mostly on the blues and the greens for this mini recap wheel here. So we had these two. I'm gonna put this in the front as well. And in the back we had our cat's eye indicolite. So a nice little selection of the blues and of the blue greens. We also had a private collection blue zircon, but I'm going to save that for the time being. And then at the very back here, gonna bring back that green tourmaline we had not too long ago. So this is going to be our mini recap wheel in case you maybe didn't see it earlier here today. Paraiba, blue zircon, we have our cat's eye indicolite, and our green tourmaline in the back right over here. They are all going to be, of course, different prices. So if you have any questions on anything up here, let me know, but I'm going to zoom back just a little bit here so you can see the back side of that green tourmaline. And there we go. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We did have that private collection blue zircon, but we already have a blue zircon up there, but I'll just quickly flash it here in case you maybe also missed it. This one right here is $44.99 on our private collection blue zircon in the dome style mounting here. And of course we have the other smaller one that is also just as dazzling this one is. I mean, I can't believe this one is still here. If I were to kickstart my zircon collection today, like right here, right now, it'd have to be with this piece. Because once you look at it on the hand, it's like, how is this stone possible, right? How is a stone of this size so incredibly powerful, right? A 489 oval cut blue zircon. How is it like, it's got Christmas lights plugged into it, right? It's like, where is the off switch? Where is the on switch, right? You have to tell me before it goes out, right? Like when you get it at home, you know, you better be seeing an information booklet on how to like operate it, right? No, this is, all you need is your hand to put this ring on, and then just a light, right? The sun, right? Whatever it is, the light inside your house, right? All you need is a light, your hand, and this ring, and that's it, right? $14.99 on this one, minus your 10% off. And look at this ring, right? Simple design, everyday wearable. If you wanted to maybe stack it with any other ring, given the size of this oval though, I'd say you maybe want to try to experiment with the wavy designed ring guard, if you have that. Probably not the Wonder Rings, because I think the Wonder Rings, the V is a little too narrow for this particular style, because it also does not elevate off the hand for the single halo part. So it's going to be sitting pretty much up close to your centerpiece right here. So that's just something you want to keep in mind. But $14.99 for this? Like, yes, absolutely, right? 14 points of diamonds, whatever. Just give me that center stone, right? Wear it every single day. It looks like a winter wonderland inside of your blue zircon, and it is still here somehow. Let's bring it back up close here. We'll take a look at our other blues and greens here. The perfect color for the upcoming winter months, right? You also have your paraiba, which I will also try on here. This is what this one looks like. Again, not exactly my size here, but that is what your paraiba will look like on the hand there. A bright neon stone. My favorite combination of all time, if you already have Mahenge pink spinel, is to wear spinel and paraiba together. This one is $78.88 minus your 10% off. Truly, good luck finding a 1.5 carat stone today for $78.88. A 1.5 carat stone. This is a carat 47, so just a few points shy of being a carat and a half. But truly, anything that hits a carat, goes over a carat, right? The price skyrockets. It's not like, oh yeah, half carat is this price, therefore 1 carat must be this size, therefore 2 carats must be this size, right? You guys have seen 2 carat paraibas. They are not the same price as our 1 carat paraibas times 2, right? The price goes up exponentially. So the fact that we have a carat and a half here, where it's priced like a 1 carat medium quality stone, because the first news that we heard back from Tucson when the paraiba prices went crazy was that people were charging $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for a 1 carat medium quality stone. This is not a medium quality stone. This is a private collection neon paraiba, and it's set in a ring. People were charging that much for a loose stone. They don't even think about, they don't even consider the diamonds and the gold weight. All they care about is the loose stone, right? Part of that is also why I'm always in awe as to how we can do what we are doing, where we're not only giving you a center stone, we're giving you a center stone set and ready to wear in a ring, in a pendant, in earrings, right? Bracelets, bangles, necklaces, right? Whatever you can think of, we have. We've just not done tiaras yet. But these stones are all already set and ready for you to wear. A lot of you guys would probably prefer to have it that way, right? So here it is, your one and only chance on a carat 47 neon paraiba for only $78.88, dressed up with tapered baguettes, dressed up with round, brilliant VS white diamonds in one ring, ready to wear. All you gotta do is tell me what is your ring size it stays like it is. We even upgraded the purity of the gold to 18K white gold. We want the best for you, and this ring has got it all. So call me on this one. I'm gonna bring it back up close. And next up, if you wanna see either of these two in the back here, I get it, it might not be for everyone. A lot of us do prefer to lean more towards the medium-sized rings. So if you wanna see either of the ones in the back, let me know. And I'm trying to see here what else is maybe still here. We had a heart-shaped Rubilite tourmaline pendant earlier today. Might as well also recap the green diamond from yesterday in case you maybe weren't with us. We had a green diamond yesterday, flashed it really quickly at the beginning of the first hour here, and it is here for another look. And even holding it against a wheel of bright stones, right, this green diamond does not lose its color, right? It's not suddenly, oh, this stone is, you know, dull, it's gray, it's brown, it's whatever, right? It may be a different green from what we are seeing up here, especially with the tourmalines, but can you see how still open that green color is, right? It's not a dirty green color. It is our green yellow diamond. And we're gonna bring it up here one more time for another quick look in case you maybe missed it, because I just think that a ring like this definitely does deserve another quick look at it. And in case you weren't here, this was 1112955. And this is our GIA certified fancy green yellow diamond. Green yellow meaning the main color is yellow and green is describing that main color. But we all know the color yellow, the moment you add any secondary color to it, suddenly that yellow is gone and that green comes in. And look at this stone, right? And again, I will zoom all the way in so that you can see your green diamond up close and personal. So you can see the clarity and the color, right? This is a really unique color. We've had other green diamonds here. They're a little dark for my liking. They have a little too much of a secondary color, tertiary color to it, to my liking. Right, it kind of looks like it came out of the earth, which it did, right? In all fairness, it did come out of the ground. But if it's a green diamond, right, I like something that looks like this, where it looks like a very springtime color, right? It's very fresh. It's not gloomy, it's not, again, gray, it's not brown, it's not, you know, there's no other colors to it that you don't really want to muddy this very specific color, right? This is our green yellow. It is a fancy color, which we all know that fancy usually means that it tends to be priced higher, right? We've never had a fancy vivid or a fancy intense here, you know, on TV, but, you know, I have seen some of those stones, right? I've worked with some of those stones, and the way they are priced, it's insane, right? And this was, you know, a couple years ago, right? And if I remember correctly, it was close to being $30,000 for just a simple, you know, cushion cut, fancy vivid, fancy intense, right? We had two stones, got to work with both of them, and the end result was beautiful, right? Both stones were GI certified, but the price was just, it was just different. It's a different animal. It's just, you can't compare it to whatever we have here. So the fact that we have a fancy here today says a lot, right? We don't have a lot of these certified diamonds that just outright say fancy, right? Especially with the pinks. Usually it's a faint pink, it's a light pink, it's a very light pink, right? It's whatever. But for a color like this, we don't see a lot that says fancy green yellow. So let me zoom back just a little bit here, and I will also show you guys the GI cert that does come with. And if you've been thinking about it, now is a perfect chance. If you've been thinking about it overnight, if you can't stop thinking about it, then maybe that says something about maybe you do deserve this ring. So here's where that GI cert is once again. And there you have it. You have your 213 caraway right here, fancy green yellow. Fancy being right here on your color scale. And of course, it is our VS2. Inclusions are here, 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 and I feel like there was one more, right? Like you can barely see, you have one right here, right? That's all I can see in terms of the inclusions. And yes, it is a 2 carat plus stone, but you saw it super up close, right? Did you see any of the inclusions? Probably not, right? The brilliance of the diamonds, they do a really nice job in sort of like covering it up like by themselves with how bright they are. But this is a VS2 stone. This is our fancy green yellow, as listed right here. And this is your GI cert. So let's take another look at the ring. In case you missed it, yesterday it was $44,999, and we got it all the way down to $18,888 on this one yesterday and today, keeping it here until it goes. And let me, of course, try it on one more time here, because yes, a lot of diamonds in this one little ring that is not so little. And there it is, completely covered from head to toe in diamonds, in your fancy green yellow, and also in your VS white diamonds in one ring. Here it is, true to size on this one. Now it does also have an under gallery, so it is going to be comfortable to wear as well. So just keep that in mind here. But $18,888 minus 10% off. Fancy diamonds do not get discounted like this. A lot of stones that we have, like paraibas, right? They don't easily get discounted like this. Usually when you have sales elsewhere, right? I don't know about other jewelry places, but I'm sure they are not willing to put a lot of their pieces, especially the high end, on sale, right? Or if they do put it on sale, they bump up the price first so that it looks like you are getting a better deal. Here, I mean, that is the same price as it was however many years ago this was made, right? Could have been over 5 years ago, right? Before I even got here, this ring was here. So that says a lot about pricing, and that says a lot about us and how we like to discount things. And that is take pieces from so many years ago and just do nothing to change it and just say, here, just take an extra 10% off, right? And it is here. Let me know if you'd like to take it. And let me actually put it facing down here, so it looks a little bit, so we can see it from a different angle here. But $18,888 on this one. One collector gets it. You know, maybe it's just me, maybe I haven't seen a lot of green diamonds, you know, ever, but you know, to see this specific kind of green, I can't say I've seen many, right? Especially not in this size, especially not certified. Absolutely not if it's certified, right? Smaller stones here and there, sure, right? But larger stones like this, a 213, is something that we do not get to see every single day, except for here, except for now, and it is here. Let me flip it over so we can see it all nice and upright. Here we go. Let me know on this one. And I also do have Colombian emerald, so in case anyone is interested in that, let me know. It is a larger stone than the one I had yesterday. One of my favorites in the emeralds that I have had so far. And I'm going to quickly flash a couple of pieces here that I think you have seen probably before, but just so we can get through a couple of pieces here, I am going to flash a couple of rather designer pieces. The first being a brooch that you can also wear as a pendant. It has a dragonfly motif. So if you would like this one, let's actually go against the hand here. I'm sure you've seen this one before, dragonfly motif. It has pearls set as an accent stone, which is really cool. It's like the morning dew, right? If you would like this entire brooch slash pendant, we're gonna make this $999 if you would like it. And if you wanna see anything else from, you know, yesterday, I don't have it out here with me except for the green diamond, but I do have it in the back. So if you wanna see it, let me know. But this brooch right here is $999. And let me also show you a turquoise necklace that I also have here that I will also show you against the hand the moment I can get it to sit down upright here. Looks a little something like this. If you would like our Sleeping Beauty turquoise necklace, this one, the moment it stops rolling, it will be $14.99 on this. So the chain does come with on this. There is going to be a diamond bezel set into the chain on either side here, and this one is going to be $14.99. Does have to stay like it is in the white gold on this one, $14.99. And let's bring it up close so you can actually see some of the diamonds here. So we're going to move aside our green diamond here. And there we go. This is our turquoise necklace right over here. And this is going to be $14.99. 112-8499 is the item number on this one. Of course, I'm trying to see if it'll balance by itself, but no, it's not going to. So let me just grab it here and make sure that it's actually going to sit still here. But there it is. Chain comes with $14.99 on this one. 112-8499. I do have another one, so in case you might miss out on this one, I do have another one that's a little bit smaller here. But the one I'm holding is a 756 oval Sleeping Beauty turquoise center stone. And it does have 13 points of your diamonds as well. So 756 center stone and 13 points of your diamonds here. Chain comes with $14.99. Was basically $4,000 on this one. On the brooch, of course. And this is what the basket looks like on this one as well. So we have a question about the dragonfly brooch. Dragonfly is going to be 112-3725. Let me know on this one here. And of course, if you need to see more about the turquoise, let me know. Here is the dragonfly brooch. And I'm going to have to zoom back a little here. So let me just scurry around and zoom back here. And there we go. Hopefully that's enough. Something tells me it's not. I am holding it by its hidden bail right here. As you can see, you have the pearls going down, kind of like the leaf part of where the dragonflies are sitting upon. Platinum and the 18K being the yellow gold, of course, everything else being the platinum. You do have a brooch in the back too, so 2 ways to wear, love to see it. You also have 5 points total weight in both of the ruby eyes here, bezel set into your dragonflies. And you also have 43 points total weight of your white diamonds. There's not a mention of the pearls, so those might as well just be free. And this was $9.99 on this one here today. Started at $5,000. So $9.99 on this one. Let me show you what it looks like upright, so you can see a better look at the size perspective of this one. A little over 2 inches here from top to bottom. I mean, I just love any piece that there's 2 ways to wear here. $9.99 on all of this platinum and gold. This is absolutely insane, and this is what it looks like on the neckline here, and I believe it may already be gone, so congrats on this one. I mean, I'm just imagining it on like a black, blouse or whatever, and I just think that it would stand out so well here, and it is gone. Thank you. Let's go back up close to an empty wheel. And I will bring back that turquoise necklace here, if it will listen to me this time. There we go. Turquoise is here for the time being. Now, if you maybe want a little bit of a smaller one, I do have that here. But this one is here for the time being. This is $14.99 with the chain included, of course. There we go, it'll stay. And let me see. I also have, might as well just flash a couple more pendants here while this one is staying on the wheel here. But if you would like a 13mm round Tahitian black pearl with an enhancer bail, and it looks something like this. If you would like this pendant, again, upgraded with the enhancer bail here. If you would like this, we're gonna make it $12.99. Again, perfect pearl on this one, beautiful luster. It does have a little bit of that green and purple color to it, a little bit of the goldens too, but this one is going to be $12.99 if you would like our pearl pendant here today. And I also have 2 ruby pendant options here if you would like it. So feel free to call on any of these. If you want to see the information, feel free to also call in and let us know. I also have this really unique sapphire ruby, Burma ruby heart shape in this really long pendant of sorts. If you would like this, it is 2 inches from top to bottom. We are going to make this $13.99. That ruby by itself is a 95-point heart shape ruby, 43 points of your white diamonds going down the center of it. And the way that it's created, you basically have an infinite number of bales. Not infinite, but you do have a lot of selection as to how you might want to wear it here. That's what it looks like from the back. This is in the 18K white gold, 2 inches of 18K white gold for only $13.99, where you also have a 95-point heart-shaped ruby in the center there. So if you want to see more on that, let me know, but I'm sure a lot of these pieces you have seen before. So not to, bore you with the same item over and over again, but let me also show you a different ruby pendants that I do have here. Another option for any of our ruby lovers out there, and it's going to look a little something like, it's going to have more rubies in this one. Also kind of looks like a really festive piece, right? Where you have 5 perfectly matched Burma rubies here set into this kind of like a circle of life pendant. And if you would like this piece right here, it's 242 total weight of your rubies, 29 points in your diamonds. And if you would like this piece right here, 14K white gold stays like it is, we're gonna make it $16.99 on this one here today. So a couple of lovely options for you here on our rubies, on our diamonds, turquoises here, right? So anything else you might want to see, let me know. But we just had a couple of pieces here that I thought would look really nice if you would like to add it to your collection here. Again, do not forget about my green tourmaline, my green diamond, my blue zircon, my paraiba tourmaline, all still here if you would like it. And of course my green diamond too. Anything else you want to see, Mandarin garnet, trillions, if you want to request anything, feel free to go ahead. I also have an emerald that I might save. Trapeze emerald, actually. Trapeze emerald earrings. I'm maybe not save on this one because this is a stone that we don't get to see that often. Also another stone that we never really had until recently. Looks a little something like this, so might just give this a look up next here. So let me move this one aside. Next up is going to be 1124787, and this is going to be our Trapeze emerald earrings. So there is going to be 2 of them. Your backings are going to be this silicone encased backing here, so it is going to be rather comfortable to wear. I love how prominent the spokes are and the star is too, because we've had a couple stones that, I personally don't really like as much because it just kind of looks a little messy, right? It just kind of looks like some kid took a Sharpie and just, drew a star somewhere inside the emerald, right? But these, right, it's clean, it's crisp. The lines are crisp, it's clean. You can see there is clearly a center there. And this is your entire pair of earrings here. Let me also hold it so it's angled away from the light so you can see what I mean by that. So the lines are very sharp, right? And they're also pretty much very symmetrical, meaning that there's not one line that is, taking up most of the stone and the others are just, kind of just getting by there, right? So I love the way these 2 Trapeze emeralds are. This is in the platinum. Of your 2 stones combined, you have 1718 total weight of your Trapeze emeralds, and you also have, part of me is like hesitating because there's no way, but there's also a carat 38 total weight of all of your diamonds in a single halo. Is that right? Let me zoom in closer. Is that a single halo of diamonds around each stone? It looks like it is. So that's kind of special, right? And the post is going to be more towards one side of your earring. So you are going to wear more like north-south as opposed to, east-west, because when you have ovals like this, I think it looks better, north-south versus east-west. It does give it a larger look on the ear here. And rare collectible stones, 2 perfectly matched ones, 1 pair of earrings. What could the price possibly be? Well, I'll tell you. It started at $19,999. $19,999, and today I want someone to have it because for 2 stones, each stone is, pretty sizable, right? Let me borrow one here and show you what it looks like against the hand, right? These are not tiny little stones, right? If they were too tiny, then it kind of loses the point of it, right? It's like, oh, you can't really see the star inside. It's like, it's just a green cabochon stone with a weird inclusion, right? It's whatever, right? but these have got the size for it. It's got the space for it if you want it. It's not even going to be $9,999. Just like that, saved you already $10,000. I mean, you could get my paraiba from today for, you know, less than $10,000. But this, $99.99, not going to be your final price either. Let's bring it back up close here, and I'll show you what it looks like against the ear as well. And that is what they look like, right? Large, sizable earrings, not even going to be $79.99 here today. And I love how prominent they are, right? I mean, we've had emerald earrings, right? We've had a lot of emerald earrings varying in sizes, but we've never really had trapeche emeralds in studs in this size. This is your one and only chance. Let's bring it back up close here so you can take another look. And if you would like it, can't believe that these are here. We are going to make it $6,999 minus your 10% off at checkout. And have fun with these. Truly and honestly, have fun with these earrings once you get them at home. And if you get them, please be sure to, you know, wear them and take them outside so you can have them, you know, really shine underneath the sunlight and have, you know, just really see the final effect of it, because these stones, they do need a little bit of light, right, to really show off the high contrast between the star and the emerald itself. So really just take it outside, you know, take a couple selfies, see how they look, and feel lucky, because this is truly a collector's piece. You're not only getting one, but two perfectly matched trapeche emeralds. And these stones are also very much not easy to collect, right? Not easy to collect, not easy to match. If you want to see what I mean, we have, you know, quite a few number of bangles and bracelets in the back where all the trapeches are essentially a free form. So those by themselves are not exactly easy to match, especially the color, right? There are a few stones here and there where they lean a little bit towards the gray greens, and even the color of the emeralds themselves do not perfectly match. So it's a very rare opportunity to get a perfect oval shape in the trapeche emerald, and here you are, one pair of earrings, one caller gets it. Let me know. And I also have Rubilite earrings in case anyone is interested. I have an aquamarine pendant, which we have seen quite a bit of. So I'm also going to flash this and just tell you guys the price, because I have seen this piece so many times. You guys have seen this piece so many times. And I'm just going to show you a piece and just give you the price. So if you just want to call in and get it, you can do that. But this is my my aquamarine in a pendant. Need to clean it up a bit here. But if you remember this pendant, it's been here for a while now, and today is the day I think that it finally must go, because for a stone of this size, for this value, you can't get the loose stone for this price, and that price being $2,999. So if you would like this aquamarine pendant, where it's got 4 princess cut diamonds invisibly set into the bail, a stone with a color as saturated as this is, it's $29.99, stays like it is in the white gold. If you want a full presentation, we can do that too. But I just thought, you know, you've probably seen enough of that pendant and just want to know the price and move on with it. And that is what we have done here. Now, next up, bringing another rather collectible piece here. It is opal. Opal that is not only the blues or the greens or the yellows or the oranges, an opal that has got a little bit of everything combined into one piece. We're going to move these aside here, so let me know on these. Again, post is more towards one side, so they will sit on the ear more so like that. And next up, we have what is currently my favorite opal in the entire inventory. This is 1127495. If you want blue-green opals, I can 100% get you one. But if you want something that looks like this, I only have this one. This is in the platinum. This is our 1260 center stone. 38 points in your diamonds. Honestly, there's barely any diamonds in this, but when you have an opal that looks like this, like if there's no diamonds in it, I'd be perfectly a-okay with it. Because when you have a stone of this size, the only thing you are looking at is that center stone. And in fact, let me actually run around and even block a couple of the lights here, because I really want you to see how much internal reds that this stone has, right? I mean, like that looks fine. But then like this, you can see so much more of those prominent colors coming forward and really just taking over the stone here. This is our 1260, 38 points of the diamonds. In the platinum, true to size on this one. Perfect for the index or the middle finger or even the ring finger. And this is what it looks like from the side as well. So you can see a little bit of that host rock from the back. And from the back too, I mean, I'm sure there are double-sided opals out there, and this could even possibly be one of those, because look at how prominent the reds are, the blues, the greens, all of the colors here in one stone. And this is also what it looks like on the hand here. If you think it looks pretty good right now on the screen, just wait till you get it at home, because there are colors here that, you know, the camera simply is just not picking up. There's oranges, there's yellows, right? There's purples, there's pinks. There's colors that the camera just simply is not picking up here. Have you ever gone outside when the sun is setting and the sky is this really pretty pink color, and then you take a picture of it and then you look at your phone and then that pink has turned into an orange? It's kind of like that, where certain cameras it cannot pick up on certain colors. Just a few days ago, right, there was a beautiful sunset outside. All the clouds were this really pretty saturated pink color, and there was even a rainbow outside, and I thought, well, might as well take some pictures. And every single picture I took, the pink turned into an orange, right? So, and this is on my phone camera. So we have some pretty cool high-tech cameras here, but you know, cameras in general, there are just some colors that it just cannot pick up, right? And then this has, you know, a lot of those colors. So really see it in person first before you make a sound judgment here. And this ring, $14,999. A great price for a stone of this size. In fact, I'm going to just angle it here so you can see it in the shadows, right? Where it really works with, you know, a little bit of light, not too much to overwhelm it. And this is what we're gonna do on this one. If you want to request any other opal, I can bring you any other opal, but nothing like this one, where it literally looks like confetti inside of your stone. We are going to make this one $7,499, just like that. Look at that. It may be a large stone, but the band really does make up for it. The band is not a traditional regular size band. If it was, then I think we'd be in trouble, right? We need like 2 ring guards on either side to really hold this piece in place. But because of that wider band, it really helps accommodate the size of this piece. And even as I angle it downwards away from the light, so much of that red is still coming through. You've got your blues, you've got your purples, you've got your greens, you've got everything. And this ring is only $74.99 minus your 10% off at checkout here today. Let me bring it up close one more time here so you can see your stone up close and in person and see what it is all about here. And we might as well also get to some of our Tanzanites up next, but I just want to say hello one more time as we got a little carried away here. But hi everyone, my name is Joyce, and we're already well into our last hour here today. So if there's anything you want to see again, had a lot of questions on the green diamond. If you want to see that again, let me know. I would not be surprised if that went by the end of the show today. And any requests are welcome. I know it's a pretty busy day out there, a lot going on today. So, but it's still not too late for requests. I'd say it's only too late if it's like the last 10 minutes here. So just keep that in mind that we do still have to go in the back and look for pieces. So still call us with any requests you might have, or if you're, too busy today, or if you want to see something tomorrow, we can also set aside for then as well. So there's no problem there. We're very flexible. We can work around your schedule. But again, thank you for being here with me. Again, Lauren will be back with us tomorrow which is Friday, so I was just covering for yesterday and today, so it's nice to see everyone again. And again, if there's anything you've seen in the first 2 hours that you want to see again, just call us, and as long as it's still here, we can bring it up and show it to you again with full graphics and full presentation if you want. And let's get back into it, because I do have Tanzanites to show you. So let's take another look at our opal here today, and let's bring out our Tanzanites, of which I have a pendant and a pair of earrings. I think I'll show maybe the pendant first. It is a cushion cut Tanzanite. It's really nice. I don't know how this one is still here. It's going to be 1126977. This is that mounting that kind of reminds me of like a designer handbag, where it's not, you know, too overdone, but it's just enough to get the job done, meaning it's just enough to be a pendant. And this is what it looks like if it'll sit up straight. Here we go. It's got that color to it. Of course, it is museum reserve. I mean, just look at it, right? One look at it, it looks museum reserve. It is museum reserve. White gold only on this one. This is our 1522. Now, I've seen a lot of blue wing black tanzanites. I've seen a lot of the museum reserves. Very few will speak to me like this one does. There's something about the depth of color that this one has that I can't say goes the same for a lot of the other blue wing black tanzanites, right? The level of depth that this color has, that this blue is, right? It's almost like you're looking into an alternate dimension, right? It looks out of this world. And it's, of course, got that red flashes. You have 11 points of your diamonds. So if you like for all of your attention to be on that center stone, right? This is it. The next best thing we have here is a cushion cut blue wing black tanzanite with a single halo around it, diamonds going down the bail, and that's it, right? So for these stones, right, we want it to be as wearable as possible, seeing that it is rather, you know, exclusive, it is rather, you know, specific, and something that not everyone has. So we do want to, you know, give you the ability to wear it every single day and not feel like, I gotta save it for something special. I can't just, you know, wear it, right? It doesn't feel right, right? This is something that you get it at home, and your first thought is to just put a chain on it and put it on your neckline, right? And see what this stone can do. This is our $17,999 piece. It's museum reserve. Again, a lot of places have been, if this stone hasn't already been on display, right? A lot of places have been reaching out, being like, oh, save one for us, right? And not only that, but anytime a major trade show happens, which I believe the next one is going to be in February, right? Collectors, vendors, gem lovers from around the world will follow us and ask us, hey, you going to this show? Heard of those blue wing black tanzanites? Can I have one? I'll buy one off of you full price, right? You don't even need to bring the mounting, I'll just buy the loose stone. People from all over the world have heard of this material, and they also crave this material, but you know, we want to prioritize you guys first, right? We want to prioritize our TVON family first, to give you guys the best of the best and first, right? We don't want to give you guys, you know, whatever's left, right? This is the stuff that everyone is, you know, running at us for, being like, I've seen Tanzanite, light lavender, not really a nice blue color. I don't want that, right? Everyone has that, but not everyone has this material except for us, right? You can just see the difference, right? If you have, you know, 2 screens, 2 TVs, right? Pull it up, put this Tanzanite on one and put someone else's Tanzanite on the other and see the comparison, right? Of course, with, you know, images and videos, you have to think about if there's any editing done to it, because of course, for any product, you do want it to look its best, even when it maybe doesn't. But there's no editing here, right? This is all live. And there's no way we can take the stone and be like, oh yeah, bump up that saturation, right? We don't have the software for that, right? So this is it. What you see is what you get. And it's not even going to be $79.99. Start price was in fact, $18,000. But here we go. What we're going to do on this one, give it another discount and make it $6,999 and minus your 10% off at checkout. This is our 1522 cushion cut center stone. It may sound like a large stone, and granted, yes, it is a large stone, but let me also show you what it looks like against the hand here, because it is still wearable, believe it or not. Like, this is something that I would wear. And I don't wear necklaces usually. I don't really tend to like how necklaces feel around my neck, but I would go out, buy a chain, and wear this Tanzanite pendant at the drop of a hat. And you're getting it for $69.99 minus 10% off. I mean, the color, even from here, it is the exact same. It is, there's nothing wrong with the stone, right? If you can even pick out a single flaw that the stone has, please call in and tell me, right? Aside from the fact that it is a 1522, if there's something wrong with the color, if there's not enough, red flash or whatever, right? If you see a window, which I do not, right? If there's anything wrong with the stone, call in and let me know. But look at the stone against the neckline here. I mean, this is a great size to have for a museum reserve blue wing block Tanzanite for everyone to see. And no matter the color of fabric that you wear it against, right, it's going to show off. It's going to pop, right, against white, where the stone is obviously, high contrast, even against black, where that blue just somehow appears even brighter here. So let me know on this one, $69.99 minus your 10% off, and let's bring it back up close here and take another quick look at our stone before we move along. And this is also what it looks like from the back. So even from the back, you've got red flashes reflecting into your gold. You've got your single stone, single basket. Got some really interesting little cutouts of your basket here, but that stone is just perfection. Museum reserve, they usually are. And look at that stone, right? Doesn't it look like there is a level of depth here that, not a lot of stones out there do have, right? Something similar that we saw today was with the green tourmaline ring, right? It's just an object. It's just inanimate object, but there's something about it where it looks surreal. It just doesn't look real, right? You really have to my first instinct is hold it in your hand, because it's really too good to be true. And usually elsewhere, too good to be true means that there's a catch, but here there's not a catch. You pay $69.99 minus 10% off at checkout. If you see it in person, you're like, it's too much for me, or I wouldn't wear it. Love the stone though. Send it right on back, right? And when we send it to you, you don't pay for shipping. There's no tax unless you're in California, right? That's it. Got a lot of calls recently where it's how much is shipping? How much is a gold color change? And if it's a necklace, how much is it to make it, 16 inch if it's adjustable, right? How much is ring sizing? How much is the tax? How much is shipping, right? All of those questions, and you know the answer to it. So here's your chance, my one and only blue wing block Tanzanite in a pendant, and it's here for one caller to grab it. And I'm going to flash another piece here. This is kind of my show and tell sort of piece for today. Given the fact that my paraiba is still here, this might not be a good idea. But if you were interested in anything that looks like this is what it looks like against the hand. This is a lot. This is a copper-bearing tourmaline and a paraiba. So that paraiba by itself is a 207. So if you would like this, you know what? Might as well bring up the information. This is 1125484. This is one of the results of one of my designs, was given the purple pink paraiba, and I thought, you know what would be really cool? To get a regular paraiba, a neon blue paraiba, and put it together to make this huge high-end piece. And good thing that idea was approved because I have been known to do some kind of weird, kind of crazy, kind of out there color pairings here. But I just thought tourmaline and tourmaline, two perfect stones for each other. I didn't pick out a green because I thought the hue of the green paraiba would be very likely very close to the purple pink. And I do want a little bit of a contrast to it, so I thought the perfect one would be that regular neon blue paraiba where you have a brighter stone in the bail and a slightly darker stone right there in the body of the pendant. And speaking of, that is a 2180 purple pink paraiba right at the bottom there. This entire piece started at $59,999. Yes, I get that it's a lot considering that you by itself in the bail is a 207, right? I mean, you could easily take this piece and just cut it in half and have two separate pieces and possibly charge, you know, somewhere in the 5-figure range for each of them, right? This is what we're gonna do on this one. You also have a carat 03 total weight of your diamonds. I didn't want to go too crazy with it. I know it sounds silly now that, you know, you have a paraiba and another paraiba, right? How much more crazy can you get? I didn't want to go too crazy with this, so we only put a single halo of diamonds around each stone. It is two-tone gold, however, so you do have your prongs around your purple pink in the rose gold. Everything else is in the white gold. If you would like this, we are still discounting it. We are still going to give you 10% off. You don't have to keep it forever if you don't want to. But here's the thing, we are going to discount this and one person gets it. And if it doesn't go, several things can happen. We can just take it apart, and I'm sure someone would love to just take that paraiba out and make it into a ring. And as for that purple pink, we might have to also make it into a ring or maybe keep it as a pendant because as a ring it may be a little too big. Or we can just melt it down and the stones go into the private collection. End of story. Or it goes out to you. Whatever the options are, I will discount this to the lowest it's ever been. And on top of that, we are taking an extra 10% off. So if you would like this, you call me right now. We're gonna make it $26,999 for this entire piece. You guys know what 2-carat paraibas are going for. When you consider that, plus a 2180 purple pink paraiba, one of the larger ones that we have seen here on the show. And at this point, the diamonds and the gold are just, ignore that, right? Those are free, right? Suddenly it's that price for this makes a lot of sense. And on top of that, you also get 10% off. Can you imagine how much 10% off is? And this is also what it looks like against the neckline here. I just love how well the colors show off here, right? Where you have your neon blues and you have your bright purple pinks all together in one. And if you're not a huge fan of the rose gold, don't worry, it doesn't really show up here. But this is here for $26,999. One caller gets it. And let's bring it back up close here and we will move aside our Tanzanite here, which I think is being verified as we speak here. But this piece right here absolutely must go. And they're not gonna let me recreate this piece or recreate something like this if this is still here. We have our neon blues, pure blue, and we also have our purple pink paraibas. Both stones are pretty clean, right? So we are pretty up close right now. I'm gonna actually have to zoom back a little bit here, but look at how clean this stone is, right? Again, not 100% clean, but pretty clean considering that both are the tourmalines. Both are naturally very included here, but both stones have bright, open colors. It's not a muddy color at all. I think that's one of the most important things, is that it's a bright stone and that the color is not muddy or dirty, right? So these two stones, one pendant, are here, $26,999 minus 10% off at checkout. And let me know if you would like to take it. Again, the bail is pretty large enough for you to wear it with your diamonds by the yard, or if you even wanted to layer your diamonds by the yard through this one piece for some extra support, you absolutely can do that. But I only have this one. They're not going to let me use paraiba as accent stones anymore because that does tend to, you know, bump up the price of the piece in the end. For example, I did design a kunzite pendant with a paraiba in the bail. It's a small little paraiba in the bail, and yet that piece is like, what, $5,000, which that piece is still here too. So if you want to see a kunzite, it's a fancy cut kunzite pendant with a round paraiba bezel set in the bail. If you want to see that, you can call us and let me know. But aside from these two pieces, I've also done a ring with 2 Mandarin garnets, emerald cuts set at an angle, with 2 paraibas set in the center of it in the yellow gold. So if you want to see that, let me know. And of course, yesterday we saw also a ring that had 2 blue-green paraibas as accent stones. So not a lot of pieces around here have paraiba accent stones, but this one definitely takes the cake with having the largest paraiba in the bail here. So if there's anything you want to see, let me know. This one is here for the time being. We are verifying on the Tanzanite pendant as we speak. Green diamond, do not forget about my green diamond. My green tourmaline is also still here. Private collection blue zircon, my other blue zircon from the very beginning of the show. That if that is still here by the end of the show, I might just have to get that for myself. And because that stone is it just speaks to me, and I can't believe that it's still here. And what else is here? Trapeche emerald earrings, studs, large studs, are still here as well. We had my quartet of the yellow and white diamond dome rings with different center stones. Had a couple of options in the pendant and necklaces with rubies, sapphires, turquoises. Mahenge pink spinel pendant, I think might still be here. So had a lot of Mahenge pink spinel rings, but not a lot in the pendants or even in the earrings. So if there's something you want to see, we do have a pair of Mahenge pink spinel earrings as well in the back. If you want to see them, let me know. Aside from that, pretty much everything. Paraiba still here. My 7888 paraiba. Again, talking about my green diamond as I hear. So we're going to see who is going to grab that today, but there's been a lot of chatter around that green diamond because GIA, fancy color, fancy color, right? You don't see that every day. Let me know on this one. If you want to see another pendant with also a color combination, I have a green paraiba pendant with a Mandarin garnet in the bail. Sounds a little silly, but I just thought, I love Mandarin garnets so much now that I just have to put it with everything. In fact, one of my favorite pieces that I've done with a Mandarin garnet accent stone was a blue zircon pendant. I don't know if you guys remember it. I keep dreaming about that pendant, but it was a huge blue zircon cushion cut set east to west, and it had a Mandarin garnet as the bail. It was a lovely piece, found its forever home, and I think about that piece every so often. But here is yet another piece that has a play in color where it does have a green paraiba as your main part of your pendants, but there's also a Mandarin garnet emerald cut in the bail. This is 1126550, and this is also a fun little piece here because, to be honest, You know, I got a little sick and tired of diamonds, right? There's only so much you can do with diamonds. So I thought, you know what, there's such fun colors out there. Why not just mix them up, right? Mix them up, have some fun here. This is 18K in the yellow gold. You have 968 in your cushion cut green paraiba, a carat 08 in your private collection Mandarin garnet in the bale. Just had to dress it up. And here it is, stays like it is. $16,999 start price on this one. The entire piece from top to bottom measures about an inch, so it is not a small piece at all. It definitely is rather visible. And I'm just thinking you can wear on a regular yellow gold chain, or just a thought, if you have a diamonds by the yard in the yellow gold, I think it could look pretty nice together as well. Totally up to you. Or I'm thinking if you have, now this might be a little out there, if you have a yellow diamonds by the yard necklace, I'm just thinking, actually maybe not, right? That wouldn't look as nice, right? It'd be too much going on, I think, maybe. So on this one, let me also hold it here together and show you what it looks like against the hand here, as that is what it looks like, right? The colors are all so bright, so open, so clean. I mean, the Mandarin garnet, I don't have to say anymore. I think I said my 2 cents about Mandarin garnets yesterday and today. But that green paraiba, the color is oh so open. And guess what? It's not even going to be $8,999 here today. I love how all of these stones in the last couple of items, right? A lot of these stones, they are usually really included, right? Paraibas, Mandarin garnets, right? We've seen it all. And yet these two stones are like some of the cleanest I have ever seen, right? The bar just keeps on getting higher and higher and higher and higher. But for these stones, this is as good as it gets, right? I sure hope there isn't another color of Mandarin garnet out there that I don't know about, because that would be kind of insane. But this is here, and we are going to make it $6,999. One collector gets it. If you like to have a little bit of fun with your pieces here, I'm with you. I love to have a little fun too, and not just have, you know, diamonds everywhere, because everyone has diamonds, right? Not everyone has a private collection Mandarin garnet to go with their green paraiba, and this is also what it looks like against the neckline. Again, fun colors. Both colors are incredibly bright and saturated and vivid, and look at that. The emerald cut stone, once it hits the light just right, and your cushion cut too, the light is just swimming inside of your stone here for $69.99 minus the 10% off, and this is it. If you would like it, let me know. And let's bring it back up close here for one last look, and we're gonna find out what is going out the door here today at the end of our show here. I mean, I just love how it turned out. I just think, you know, it looks so different on paper versus, you know, in a box versus, you know, in a computer versus right here, right? It just looks so incredibly different. And here it is, $69.99. And let me know if you would like to take it. If only pendants could stand up by themselves, I would have them all, you know, just layered on the wheel right now. But here it is, our one and only green paraiba. I do have other green paraiba pendants. They are way larger than this one. They also do have Mandarin garnets, but you know, the price is a little bit different, right? It's leaning more into that 5-figure range. So if you want something a little bit more simple, a little bit more everyday wearable, this one definitely is that one choice for you here. Stays like it is in the yellow gold. It just goes out just like that. Easy and done. Question? No question at all? Sounds good. All right, let me know on this one here. I mean, I just love how bright that Mandarin is. It reminds me of the one from yesterday, which, yes, I'm still thinking about. I do love that stone. I just love it when the oranges are more, when they're brighter, you know, when they're not nearly as dark of an orange. Like the Trillium from today leans a little bit more of a darker orange, but when they're this lighter, you know, it just feels lighter in the soul, right? and $69.99 on this one. Let me know if you would like to take it. Trying to see what else we might have here. I have a cashmere sapphire that is also GI certified in case anyone may be a little bit interested in that one. If not, I think it's a perfect time. Let me see if there's anything else I want to show here today. If not, I think it is time for the final last recap here of our Thursday. Green tourmaline. Definitely has to be one of the pieces on the recap wheel here. I'm trying to think, is there any way I can fit any of the pendants we just had onto the recap wheel here, because I would love to have it up there. But I don't think they will stand, and I think they will block everything else on the wheel. So we're gonna have to go without it, but do not forget about these pieces. And let me start with, let me just make a comparison here. So that is the Mandarin garnet we had today, the trillions. Can you see the color difference in the oranges, right? Can you see how the one in the pendant is just a little bit lighter than the one in the ring, right? Of course, you can have your preferences here and there, but if you're to ask me, I do like this color a little bit more. Like this is, don't get me wrong, this is a really nice stone and a really nice color, but I do like how unique this particular orange is. And so let me know on either of these. I'm gonna take the pendant away. We're going to have our Mandarin garnet as the centerpiece here. We are going to build around it. We have, I still can't believe this is here. The blue zircon ring from the very beginning so happens to still be here. We have my paraiba that is a few points shy of being 1.5 carats, also still here for under $10,000. We have my green tourmaline. I'm going to throw that in the back here. You can see only a corner of it because that's how large of a stone it is. Going to zoom out just a hair here. And we do have a couple of pieces here that are still hanging around. So I'm going to also bring back the blue zircon private collection stone. And we're going to show them together next to our little one here that is still hanging out. Like, can you see what I mean? Same stone, same shape, different cut. That is what is the difference here. This oval right here is more of a traditional cut, but this right here, the way it's cut, it's almost like an oval mixed with a Portuguese cut, to the point where it just looks like that, right? It looks so much brighter than any other piece up here. It's just unheard of, unbelievable. And this is here as well, my green tourmaline. We also have had, I don't know if this one will fit, but we also have our cat's eye indicolite in the back here. Gonna move these aside so we can make a little bit of space here. And what else? We also had aqua pendant for $29.99. My green diamond is still here. My green diamond looks like that. I feel like if I take away the Mandarin garnet, it'll back to being a blue and green wheel here, which is totally not on purpose. But let me see, maybe I can do some shuffling around here. So I'll put the green diamond in the middle here, my paraiba, my other blue zircon. Try to fit this right here. Mandarin garnet right over there. See if there is anything else I can put on the wheel here today. My trapeche is still here. Trapeche emerald earrings. I think that's it. I think that is it. I mean, I guess we can offset the cool tones and the warm tones. I could throw up a yellow diamond up there. Let me do some more rearranging here. Gonna put the shorter rings in the front as it usually is. And I'm gonna bring a dome style yellow diamond ring, put it in the center here. Green diamond, do not forget about it. We also have yellow diamond dome ring design, paraiba in the front, and also my blue zircons. Maybe if it's still here by the end of the show, it is going to be my blue zircon. And I won't get 10% off though, so that's just the sad part. I wonder if I just take the stone and just let them have the mounting, if they'll give me like a discount of sorts. But look at this. This is our recap wheel. Had a couple of pieces that I mentioned that I didn't show yet. Let me see. Colombian emerald. I did have a Colombian emerald. It is a 328. I'm sure you've seen it before. One of my current favorites in the inventory right now. Looks a little something like this. If you would like this one is only $69.99. Start price was $14,999, but today if you would like this one, it is only $6,999, and there is like no space to put it. I'm trying to think, what could I take down here to make space for our Colombian emerald? I guess I could take down the private collection blue zircon. Maybe I will. Let's see here. Maybe I will. I think I like the color scheme of this a little bit better here. So the shape, size-wise, is a little off, but that's okay. We love to see all of the colors here, but also do not forget about this one. It is still here, yes?
Taking the large opal, and can you show the 5 ruby circle pendant?
Do you mean my opal ring?
Yeah.
You're taking my opal ring?
Yep.
And the 5 circle ruby?
Yep.
Five ruby circle?
Yeah. Can you show?
Of course, sounds good. Someone is taking my opal ring. Congratulations on that one. And also taking, or they want to see this one again. So this is the 5 ruby pendant. This is going to be 1123056. This is $16.99 on our ruby and diamonds pendant. I'm going to show it against the hand here so you can get a better size perspective on this one. There it is. Even from afar, you can see how perfectly matching those rubies are and how much sparkle they have, right? They're not easy to find, clean. If they were clean, they would look a little something like this. If they weren't clean, they would look something a little like this, right? You can't really see it, can't see through it, but this is $16.99. White gold stays like it is, 242 total weights of your rubies here. And this one is also being verified. Let me also try on my opal ring one last time here before it goes. I just want to make sure, Will, you're taking this one, right? Taking this one? Verifying on it, right? Beautiful stone. And if you get this, you have to tell me what you think about it in person. Because it looks great on TV right now, but in person it looks so much better. And it truly is just a shame that the cameras really cannot pick up all of the colors here, but 2 beautiful pieces here. And if you get both of them, congratulations, or if that one's already gone, congratulations. Let me know on this one. Let me also show this against the neckline one more time so you can see. Sorry, Tony. But this is the pendant here, and this one is the 5 ruby circle pendant. Perfectly matched stones here. And there it is. Almost looks like the rubies are floating. Really well done piece right here. And let's bring it back up close to our recap wheel here and see if there's any last questions before we go here. Now, a lot of pieces, very end of the show, last couple of minutes, being verified as we speak, so no surprise there. And Tanzanite pendant too, please do not forget about that one. My opal ring, I better wear this when I still can before it gets sent out the door here. It is such a beautiful stone. So much definite that the cameras simply just do not pick up. So I know you will love that one. Congratulations on that. My green tourmaline. I gotta try this on again. One of my surprising favorites of today has been this ring today. And I'm sure everyone here also can say the same here. When you have an emerald cut that looks like this, a level of depth of color that is just, you don't see it in every single stone, right? If every single stone looked like this, then it's whatever, right? Everyone has it. But not everyone has this level of quality, right? This level of color, the openness of the color, very important in stones like this. And yes, even emerald cut stones have this problem. Even this stone has this problem. Even this cut has this problem where emerald cuts, yes, they can also be too dark. Even though this cut tends to let in more light, it can also still be too dark, and yet it is not. It is here, $64.99 minus your 10% off at checkout. It is here if you would like to take it. Again, I don't usually do this, but I would highly recommend wearing it on the middle finger here. We went over this earlier today, but in case you weren't with us, it just feels better. It feels more balanced on the hand. And visually, it just looks better on the hand too. I'm gonna move it over to my ring finger so you can see for yourself. Again, I'm not telling you where to wear it, but just judging on the size of this ring, I personally think, like if you look at my entire hand, I just think it looks more balanced on the middle finger as opposed to here, right? I just think that there's not enough space, you know, visually between the ring finger and the pinky for a ring of this size, especially for this design. That is just what I think. You don't have to listen to me, right? It's just my 2 cents. Since I do have the piece in my hand right here, I would wear it on my middle finger right here, just like that. So up to you, but it does stay in the white gold. It is true to size. It's not top heavy at all, so I will shake my hand and it did not move anywhere. So get it in your size, true to size on this one. You are going to love this stone. $64.99 minus your 10% off. Let's bring it back up close here and see what else we can try on for you before we go on here today. Let me try on this Mandarin garnet. I think this one also deserves another look on the hand here, and there it is, right? Bright neon glow. There's not been a thing such as neon Mandarin garnet, but I think after today, after yesterday and today, I feel like we definitely need to, you know, think of something, because if this stone isn't neon, I don't know what is, right? It's not a bright stone, a bright Mandarin garnet, not even just bright, but like kind of painful to look at, right? Like you need sunglasses on this one, yes. Of course, blue zircon dome ring, the private collection stone. Of course, I will try that on here. Let me go find it. Here it is. I'm going to try on that blue zircon private collection dome ring once again for our collar here, and there it is, right? It is literally diamond side to side. And if you're going to worry about, you know, is it going to be uncomfortable? All of these stones are set in a way where it is smooth. Like I am doing this right now, my finger is not catching on it. It's not like super textured, right? It feels very similar to the band. Of course, the band is completely smooth, but you know, there's no part of this ring that sticks out. It is going to be smooth. It's not going to catch on anything. The only major prongs you have on your ring here are going to be in your center stone. And this is here today, $44.99 minus your 10% off. I would highly recommend it in the white gold, and you know, you can change if you want. I would not recommend that. I recommend keeping it like it is in the white gold. We will size it for you. There is an under gallery here, so this is what it looks like from the side. The stone is set into the ring, so it's not going to, you know, be protruding from the ring so much so that you don't feel comfortable wearing it. It's going to be surrounded by gold and diamonds here, so love to see that. And let's actually bring it up close so you can see it one more time here. I'm going to move aside my green diamond. This is what it looks like close up, and this is also what it looks like from the inside. So there is an under gallery, so there is that added level of comfort here. So it's not going to, you know, scratch at your hand when you put it on and take it off, right? It's going to be really comfortable here, and I would love for you to just try it out here. You also get 10% off of that $44.99 price tag. Do not forget about my green diamond here. Anything else you want to see up here? Let's try on that yellow diamond ring one more time. If you're worried about this ring being too large of a ring, let me change your mind, because I have small hands and it looks like this, right? This is my hand with a dome ring, and it does not look like it doesn't belong on my hand at all, right? I have small hands, and look at it. It works so well. I would wear this honestly on the index, so like maybe right about here. That's where I would probably wear it. And I mean, look at that, right? Yellow diamonds, you know, the center stone does not stick out and look like it doesn't belong there. It doesn't look off color. It doesn't look like it's not good enough for this mounting, right? It absolutely is. It is here too. Also a dome style where you have your stone set into your ring here. And there it is. Let me know on this one. And let's bring it up close one more time here. Let me know if you have any questions. This one also has an under gallery, so it is also very comfortable to wear. And of course, any last questions, of course, all the calls are coming in right now as we speak. We are verifying on a couple of pieces as we speak right now. Yes? The green paraiba and the Mandarin pendant, that is 1 inch from top to bottom, and the bail, I will have to get you a measurement right about now. So let me see if I can even get that measurement. Any last questions? Let me know. We have about a minute left on our show here today. Again, it's been great seeing everyone again. Lauren will be back with us tomorrow for Black Friday. So same time, same place, same time. 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific time, wherever you can watch us. And of course, do not forget, we are also here on the weekends during the daytimes. You do not want to miss out on those shows. Those are some of the most fun shows out of the entire week here. So you really want to make sure that you are going to be here and ready for the show here. Last 30 seconds here. And let me know any last questions. We'll be here for a couple of minutes after the end of the show here, so that if you have any last minute questions, you can always feel free to call in and ask. And again, it's been great having you here with us here today. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a safe rest of your night, and we will see you same place, same time tomorrow with Lauren. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.